to watch for St. Louis. Otis Anderson, extraordinary running back who showed his power in last Sunday's opening game victory over the Saints. But don't forget Tony Dorsett, the chief weapon in a deep Cowboy arsenal. Dallas may look to rebound from Monday's loss to Pittsburgh by getting the ball to their brilliant backfield star, Tony Dorsett, who can beat you so many ways. And quickly gaining stardom on this Cowboy team is tight end Doug Cosbie, whose presence in the starting lineup cannot be denied, with plays like this that give the Dallas attack so many dimensions. So it's the Cowboys and the Cardinals coming up.
CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the Dallas Cowboys against the St. Louis Cardinals.
This game has been sold out since May, and we have ideal conditions for another renewal of the Cowboys against the Cardinals, and they are revved up here in St. Louis because the Cowboys know as well as anyone how well the Cardinals play against them here at Busch Memorial Stadium. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, and in the minds of football fans throughout the country, what about the Dallas Cowboys having been stunned, upset by the Steelers Monday night, breaking their 17-game streak at opening games of the season? And now the question is, how will the Cowboys rebound in Game 2 against the Cardinals? Always a tough game. I'm sure Roger Staubach remembers when he was young, inexperienced, and under a lot of pressure what Neil Lomax must be going through today, because everyone tells us the key to the game, the defensive line of Dallas, the offensive line of St. Louis, that's where the game will be told.
I think it is the key matchup, Dick. As you mentioned, the Pittsburgh game, Dallas could not get to Bradshaw, the front four especially. Bradshaw picked them apart. They feel that's what cost them the game. They have to get to Lomax. They've got two young offensive tackles in Sharp and Robbins. They feel they can get to Lomax. If I was St. Louis, I'd have Lomax throw some quick screens, a screen pass to Anderson, let Anderson run a little bit more, get his confidence. If Dallas can get to Lomax, it'll be a long day for St. Louis.
This has nothing to do with blocking and tackling, but when the Dallas Cowboys are forced to wear the blue, the uniform they don't like to wear, from 64 to 81, this is their record, 21, 25, and 1. And of course, it's been kind of a game with clubs, especially the Cardinals, who like to wear white, and forcing the Cowboys to wear their blue uniforms. But they're wearing the blue, and Neil O'Donoghue will kick off for the Cardinals, who defeated New Orleans last week 21-7. Fine defensive effort, not so hot on offense. And there you see Ron Fellows is deep for the Cowboys. He's back there with Rod Hill, the #1 draft choice. Cowboys losing to Pittsburgh in the opener, and we're underway at Busch Memorial Stadium. And well into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Cowboys will start at the 20-yard line. So the Dallas offense, Danny White, who had a great game statistically but made some errors, will be at quarterback for the Cowboys. The running backs, Tony Dorsett and Ron Springs. Tony Hill and Drew Pearson open at wide receiver. Offensive line, Donovan, Howard Richards, #1 draft pick last year. Rafferty, Peterson, Cooper, and Doug Cosbie making a start. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. Billy Joe DuPree is also in there as Tony Dorsett carries, and Dorsett is ganged up at about the 25-yard line. The defense for the St. Louis Cardinals, their front four very effective last week against New Orleans. Elois Grooms, Mike Dawson, Rush Brown, and Curtis Greer. The linebackers, E.J. Jr., Dave Aarons in the middle, and Charlie Baker, the other outside linebacker. And the secondary, Griffin, Allen, Nelson, and Perrin, and it was the rookie Benny Perrin who had an outstanding debut in the NFL against the Saints. Tony Hill back at wide receiver, so DuPree keeps his consecutive start streak going. 2nd and 5. In motion, Dorsett. Right. And it's Rush Brown. Rush Brown, and that just turns up the crowd even more so.
Well, we talked about the importance of Dallas getting to Lomax, but St. Louis feels the same way. Their front four has really come on strong. They did a heck of a job last week in New Orleans, and here they come again. It's an odd under-shifting defense. They had a nose guard who put a lot of pressure up the middle, and then Rush Brown came around on a little stunt move and brought Danny White to the turf. But that front four of St. Louis had a good preseason also, Dick.
So it's 3rd and 12, and Ken Green is in there as a nickel back. And the Cowboys flood the right side out of their spread offense. White, complete. And Drew Pearson, close to a first down. Let's see where they mark it. It is awfully close. Drew Pearson, and we may have a measurement. He caught a touchdown pass, and they are short of a first down. And that's unusual.
Yes, Drew really came back to the ball, and when he was coming back, he went ahead and took it out of bounds. He didn't go deep enough to come back past the hash mark, and that's something unusual for Drew.
Got to go for the sticks. So Danny White, who had a punt blocked when the Steelers rushed only 6 men in one of the key plays Monday night, will kick from the 15. Stump Mitchell is back to the 30-yard line for the Cardinals, and angling out of bounds is White's kick, and it goes out of bounds just about at the 25-yard line. So Floyd Peters engineering the St. Louis Cardinals defense, and they get high grades on that first series. But now St. Louis going on offense. Neil Lomax in his second year from Portland State. Wayne Morris and Otis Anderson, the running backs. Roy Green and Pat Tilley, the setbacks, the wide receivers. 2 rookies, Louis Sharp and Tootie Robbins, join Steve Deerdorf and Bostic up front. Doug Marsh, the tight end. At the 28, 1st and 10. In motion is Roy Green. Lomax finds Roy Green, and they get about 2 yards on that pass play, and Dennis Thurman makes the tackle. Looking at the Cowboys defense, and they came on strong toward the latter half of last year. That amazing front four of Jones, Dutton, White, and Martin. At linebacker, 1 change. Heckman and Brunig, the regulars, and with Guy Brown starting this year hurt, Anthony Dickerson is in there at right linebacker. In the secondary, Everson Walls and Dennis Thurman, the corners, Benny Barnes and Michael Downs, the safeties. 2nd and 8 at the 30. Greg LaFleur is in as a second tight end. Wayne Morris is out, and Marsh, the tight end, in motion. The pass for Roy Green, complete and a first down at the 42. Roy Green, who caught a 60-yard pass against Dallas last year. He was a 2-way performer. Now he goes 1 way, and that's offense.
They had Doug Marsh going in motion the opposite way, and Dallas changed their defense, and Green just came down about 12, 15 yards and ran a curl-in pattern. He was man-to-man. They got into the man-to-man when Marsh went in motion. Dallas came out of their zone defense, and Dennis Thurman was on him all the way. Now, I like that first pass. It was only a 2-yard gain, but it gave Lomax that confidence you need to complete that first one. He came back for the second one.
1st and 10 at the 43. Lomax has time, and the pass going for Green is overthrown. Defending is Everson Walls, and so they have been going to Green exclusively thus far. Neil Lomax was sacked 6 times by the Saints last week. He is the starter, according to Coach Jim Hanneman, but not necessarily the finisher. Veteran Jim Hart waiting in the wings, and he's going to be the relief pitcher in an unusual quarterback arrangement this team has.
Well, it is unusual. The fact that Hanneman mentioned, though, for Lomax's own confidence that Jim Hart would come in the game, but Lomax would be sure and start the next week, so Lomax knows he is the starter.
2nd and 10 at the 43. Greg LaFleur in, 2 tight ends for the Cardinals, and O.J. Anderson running for the first time, trying to find room, and amazingly gets back to the line of scrimmage. He had no room to roam, and Ed Jones finally makes the tackle on Otis Anderson, who's the all-time leading St. Louis rusher, and he's had some of his best days against the Cowboys.
Wasn't much of a run, but you saw something that Otis Anderson does extremely well is the cutback. He had 3 or 4 Dallas Cowboys out in front, but he has the acceleration once he stops to get started quickly again, and he almost broke it back to the weak side.
Stump Mitchell, number 30, is in the game, and they're out of the shotgun, something new for the Cardinals this year at 3rd and 10. Mel Gray also in there, number 85. Looking for Green, he has it, and Green is stopped just short of a first down. And it was alert tackling by Ron Fellows, who's in on the Cowboys pass defense, and they are just short of a first down.
That's the play that Otis Anderson didn't gain any yardage on. Put him in that 10-yard situation. Lomax did a good job. He read the blitz. It was an automatic, a quick down and in, but they had 10 yards to go. Fellows gave him enough room, and he couldn't get the first down, so it was a good play on defense by Fellows.
So on 4th down, Carl Birdsong, who was a rookie free agent last year and did not have a punt blocked, will be kicking. Ron Fellows is deep at the 10-yard line for the Cowboys. Fair catch called for by Fellows. The ball bounces into the end zone. So 10 minutes and 31 seconds remain in the first quarter. Jim Hannafin and the Cardinals 0-0 with Dallas. Tom Landry, the third winningest coach. George Hallis, Curly Lambeau, and Tom 4 wins away from 200, talking with Butch Johnson, the wide receiver. Dallas has it 1st and 10 at the 20. To the air on 1st down. Tony Hill can't hold on to it. Defending on the play is the right cornerback, Carl Allen. In the past 6 meetings in Busch Stadium, the game has been decided by less than a touchdown. But in the last 4 games here in St. Louis, it's been less than a field goal. And there you see how close the battles have been here in St. Louis, Ron. When
Dallas doesn't gain much in 1st down, which they didn't that time, of course, it's 2nd 10. They bring in Ken Green. He's now a linebacker. They took out the middle linebacker, Aaron, so they've got an extra defensive back in there to defend against the pass. 2nd and 10 at the 20. In motion, Tony Hill. Tony Dorsett gets a couple, not much. Very alert defense, and the man who's responsible for this newfangled defense of the St. Louis Cardinals is Floyd Peters, who is an assistant at Detroit, and of course he put a stamp on the gold rush in San Francisco, the silver rush in Detroit, and he likes that 4-3 and a very solid defense with aggressiveness the key. It is, Floyd. I talked to Floyd Peters yesterday also. He's in great shape. He does sit-ups, he does some yoga exercises, a little weights, and he's an enthusiastic person, and you can tell by his conditioning also.
3rd and 9. Butch Johnson joins Tony Hill and Drew Pearson as wide receivers, and they're all strung out to the right just about. 3rd down. White is in trouble. Elois Grooms was the last man to get to him, but Mike Dawson was there as well.
They also brought Charlie Baker. The St. Louis fans love it.
And Floyd Peters, who has a smile on his face, he knows that the Cardinal defense has to improve, and they're looking good on 2.
See the stunt in the middle of the line right there. Number 69's coming up the middle, and also Dawson went around the outside. Charlie Baker, number 52, came in on the blitz. They had a 5-man rush, good pressure on White, and of course they got to him. A big trap and another 3rd down that Dallas couldn't convert.
So the Cardinals, with Danny White now having to punt from a yard in the end zone, with a chance to start off in decent field position. There's Stump Mitchell. Last year set an NFL record for return yardage.
Short punt.
Penalty marker is down. We have a penalty marker down. Fair catch is called for and a fumble. But there was a penalty flag down. St. Louis recovered the fumble. But let's wait and see what the flag is. Just about in midfield. Ron Hill came down and tackled Stump Mitchell when he fumbled the punt. The referee is Jerry Markbright as he marks it off.
Holding.
Illegal block, number 37. 1st down.
Illegal block against Ken Green. 39-yard punt, but the Cardinals will have the ball at the 38-yard line when we return to Busch Stadium in a moment. The Detroit,
up there.
This Cardinal defense that Floyd Peters has, he says that he's really impressed with the secondary in particular. He says that matches up favorably with what the Lions have. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. No score, 8:59 remaining 1st quarter. And Otis Anderson trying to get some room wide and barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. So the story of the game, as we said at the outset, the offensive line. Dan Deerdorf moved from tackle to center, the 11-year veteran, to make room for 2 rookies. Luis Charp, 1st-round draft choice from UCLA, number 67. And Tootie Robbins, who was a 4th-round pick from East Carolina. And Jim Hannafin says he foresees greatness for both of them.
Just getting one of those guys in a draft makes it successful. They've got 2, and also Perrin is starting the safety. 3 rookies starting for the Cardinals. It's a pretty darn good draft.
Second down and 10. Ball at the 38 for the Cardinals. They're in white. Counter play, and Wayne Morris is hit and brought down at the 40-yard line by Michael Downs.
That's what Dallas expects from their weak safety, though. In St. Louis, the same way. They want their weak safeties, both teams, to be aggressive, come up to the line of scrimmage, make the tackle, and you saw Morris get hit by Michael Downs, who is a strong force from that secondary.
Third and 7. Of course, Downs and Walls, 2 free agent rookies who were so brilliant last year for the Dallas Cowboys. Dexter Clinkscale and Monty Hunter in there with the pass defense as the linebackers come out at 3rd and 7 at the 41. Out of the shotgun, Lomax has time, can't find a receiver. He runs for it. First down. .45-yard line, penalty marker down. First down, but let's wait and see.
They're going to give Benny Barnes for a little bit more than a love tap when Lomax went down, number 31. Bad play on Benny's part there.
All his receivers were covered. He had the wide open in the middle, and he just went right ahead for the first down. And they're going to mark it off to the 30-yard line, 15 yards.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 31, defense, first down.
Here's Lomax, great protection right here. Watch Randy White and also Schmerich run into each other. And there's Harvey Martin going to the outside. He's been knocked out. Great protection that time. Lomax can't find a receiver. He runs for the football, slides right there. That makes the first down. There's Benny Barnes to say hi.
Otis Anderson tries the middle, and a bunch of Cowboys gang up on him, including Bob Brunig and Randy White. Right now, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York with an NFL update.
Dick, the Cleveland Browns have scored here. Brian Sipe to Ozzie Newsome against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles' pass defense having a lot of trouble here early. They have given up 4 touchdown passes in 2 games. Let's go back to you in St. Louis.
All right, the Eagles in this tough division. Dallas, St. Louis winning their opener. The Giants expecting to bounce back. And the Eagles trailing the Browns, as Brent told you. 2nd and 7 at the 27 now. Pat Tilley, 83 wide to the left. Roy Green, 81 to the top. Quick toss to Tilley. He's got good moves, but he's double teamed, and Thurman and Brunig combined to make the stop after a short gain. It'll be 3rd down, but the Cardinals are in field goal range. You're looking at Pat Tilley, leading receiver for the 4th straight year for the Cardinals, and last year went over 1,000 for the first time in his career, and really effective over the middle, good reliable receiver.
He's a courageous receiver. When you say over the middle, he'll stick his head in there. Great hands, though. When you go over the middle, you got to make sure you have good hands because you can tip that ball in the air if you're intimidated.
Don Smerrick, number 60, second year from Nevada Reno, is in for Dutton and left tackle for Dallas. 3rd and 3 here. Low snap, and Lomax pass is through Pat Tilley. It'll be 4th down. How much effect did that low snap have on that play?
Well, once you get it back in that position to throw it, it shouldn't have much of an effect. As long as you can get it here, it is low, but he gets control of it. And he just drills it down the middle, and of course Tilley's pretty well covered. Would have been a first down anyway. You know, in football, it's really critical to get the 3rd down conversions, field position, and of course turnovers. The 3 essential facts in the game.
40-yard attempt. Worley is holding for O'Donoghue, and this kick is off to the right, no good. 40-yard field goal is missed by O'Donoghue. So we have a timeout, 6:43 remaining in the first quarter. Still no score between the Cowboys and the Cardinals. 6:43 remaining in the first quarter. Dick Stockton and Roger Staubach here in St. Louis. The Cardinals and Cowboys. Danny White, 25 completions, 4 touchdown passes against Pittsburgh. They matched his singles game high. Cosbie and DuPree are twin tight ends. At the 23, 1st and 10. Dorsett off left tackle to the 27-yard line, and Mike Dawson makes the stop. Tony Dorsett gained only 30 yards, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And of course, when the Cowboys have had Dorsett 100 yards or more, they have a 28-1 record. And he's had some of his best games against St. Louis. 5 times he's gained 100 or more yards. He is so key to the Cowboys in this game.
Yeah, as Mike Dawson mentioned, the #1 goal the Cardinals have in a team setup goals is who they have to stop and what they have to stop. Tony Dorsett was #1 on the list.
And the all-time leading rusher had his best season last year, an all-pro for the first time. 2nd and 6 at the 27. Butch Johnson is in at wide receiver. Cosbie was in motion. Fumble. Dorsett fumbled. And the Cowboys recover. Howard Richards is there, and maybe Tony recovered his own fumble, and he did. One of the things the Cardinals are banking on and the Cowboys are looking to avoid are the mistakes deep in their own territory that could result in an easy St. Louis score.
That's right. And again, it goes back to field position is critical when the game's over. 3rd down conversion, turnovers. Dallas has not had the 3rd down conversion today, and they've been in some tough field position. So St. Louis has done a good job in defense.
3rd and 8 at the 25. Ken Green is a nickel back. Tim Collier, number 44, is in at right corner. 3 wide receivers for Dallas, and Butch Johnson moves in motion. White up the middle, caught, and a 1st down. Tony Hill, who's the most improved player, said Tom Landry this year in preseason, stopped by Lee Nelson, and a Dallas 1st down.
Big rush by Curtis Greer this time, but he couldn't get to White. White hung in there. Here's Hill being hit by Griffin. He gets in that slot. Watch Charlie Baker, number 52, coming to your screen right now. It's just underneath and misses the play. Jumped up, almost tipped the ball. Hill made a fine catch.
18-yard play, and the big play threat on the Cowboys. Tony Hill in his 6th year from Stanford. Dallas 1st and 10 on their 44. 4:35 remaining 1st quarter. Play action. And White. The receiver fell down. No interception. Drew Pearson was the intended receiver, and Jeff Griffin caught that ball out of bounds. But Pearson had fallen down, and Griffin just couldn't get to catch the ball in bounds.
Well, Cowboys had a back out in the flat, and they had Cosbie going down in the seam, a deep route. White was going to Cosbie, but Griffin anticipated. There's Cosbie slipped down, but Griffin had the ball 1 foot in bounds and didn't count.
2nd down, Jeff Griffin, 2nd year from Utah, started at the right cornerback spot the 2nd half of last year. Ken Green is in nickel backs for St. Louis on defense. 2nd and 10. No score. Dorsett. Lee Nelson makes the stop. Dorsett trying to go off the side, and right now Brent Musburger has an update.
Dick, here is that familiar attack from the Houston days for Kenny Stabler, now quarterbacking New Orleans. Double tight end, 10-yard scoring pass to Larry Hardy. They lead the Bears by 7. Back to you now in St. Louis.
All right, Brent, and so Archie Manning now in Houston. Kenny Stabler with the touchdown pass. 3rd and 7 at the 47-yard line. 3 wide receivers, Hill, Johnson, and Pearson for Dallas. Cowboys effective on 3rd down plays, and a blitz for the Cardinals. White gets free. Going deep for Butch Johnson. He had him. He had beaten Ken Green, and he couldn't hold on to it, as Danny White was going for the downs on that one.
Well, the blitz, of course, leaves that middle wide open. Johnson did a good job. Butch made a fake to the outside, went to the post, good protection. The pass rush got to White late. He threw the ball perfectly down the middle into that open area. Here's the blitz up the middle. Here's E.J. Jr.'s coming in. The Baker and White steps in the pocket, drills it down the middle, and Butch Johnson just dropped the football.
Butch Johnson coming off his best season.
Well, he's made some spectacular catches, but he dropped that one.
Danny White angling the ball inside the 20-yard line, and it goes out of bounds, touched by a Cowboy at the 15-yard line. We'll be back. There's still no score between these teams.
A special preview. 7 brothers.
Noon, Busch Memorial Stadium. It's the Cardinals season opener, and no score with 3:27 remaining in the 1st quarter. Dick Stockton along with Roger Staubach. And it's been a defensive battle thus far, although Butch Johnson failed to hold on to what would have been a sure touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Neil Lomax started the last 6 games and engineered 4 in a row for the Cardinals last year. In motion, Roy Green. Lomax with 3 wide receivers finds Mel Gray, and a first down at the 29-yard line. Mel Gray extends his pass-catching streak to 119, and he needs 8 to tie Harold Carmichael for an NFL record. Mel Gray.
Well, these are the type of routes that St. Louis need. It's a quick route right here. Lomax gets rid of the ball well, and Gray makes that catch. He keeps that streak going. Dennis Thurman missed the tackle, but knocked him around, and Mel Gray is something else.
Cowboys hate to see him in there.
Yeah, they do. He's burned him many times.
12-year veteran from Missouri. He's been hobbled by knee injury. First and 10 at the 29. And here's O.J. Anderson. Good move outside. And Otis gets to the 35. Picks up 6 yards. Anthony Dickerson and Dennis Thurman make the stop. So Otis Anderson, who along with Franco Harris are the only backs to have gained 100 or more yards 3 times against the Cowboys. And Hanifan was just drooling over him yesterday, talking about the feet of Franco Harris, the power of Walter Payton.
He's got a little bit of everybody in him. You know, the thing that St. Louis is doing, they're putting him in the eye a lot more today. He's in a deeper position. He can run better from it. When he's not in that eye formation, he doesn't run nearly as well.
2nd and 4 at the 35-yard line. Play action. Lomax can't find a receiver. He's being chased by Harvey Martin. And now Dutton. And he smartly gets close to a first down, and he may have it. Smart play by Neil Lomax.
Now, before he was drafted, they said he couldn't scramble. He didn't have the mobility, but we saw it in Dallas last year when he started that first game after Jim Hart got hurt, and you're seeing it again right here. Good mobility here. He can't see anything coming off this. A bootleg out to his left, breaks back to the right again, gets around Harvey. That's the big play right there. And now John Dutton, little move to the inside, and Lomax is coming of age.
He's carried twice for 20 yards so far, and a good block by Joe Bostic, number 71, in there for the Cardinals. So it's 1st and 10 with under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score at the 39-yard line of St. Louis. Neal is 5 for 7 for 41 yards passing. Cowboys showing blitz, and here they come. And Roy Green on a reverse is going to throw the ball downfield to Pat Tilley. Incomplete. They were fortunate to even have a chance on that play, Roger.
Well, that was a good throw, too. Green was really harassed over there. He had Dutton over there, Benny Barnes, Bob Bruning, and he still got rid of the football. He almost got tackled at the handoff right here. Dallas is blitzing. Watch Michael Downs, number 26. He's coming in, messes up the play for a second, but Green gets around. He's chased right here. There's a lot of people in front of him. It's pretty darn nice throw right here for a wide receiver.
Roy Green. So the safety blitz is now. The Cowboys will do anything to try to unnerve the second-year quarterback from Portland State, who so far has escaped that danger zone. 2nd and 10 at the 39. Anderson trapped. And he's hit for a 2-yard loss. Right now we have another NFL update. Let's join Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Dick, it was a 4th down gamble by the Philadelphia Eagles. Ron Jaworski is going to sprint toward the goal line. Now watch how Cleveland seals him up. First it'll be the cornerback, then the second back. Now watch Cousineau 50. He alertly goes for the ball and stops it just before it comes across the plane. Great play. Back to you in St. Louis.
All right, Brent, 3rd and 12 now for the Cardinals at the 37. 3 wide receivers for St. Louis. Fellows, Clinkscale, Hunter, and Don Smerick in for Dutton at left tackle. Pressure coming on Lomax, and Lomax going for Tilley. Dennis Thurman defending, and the pass is wide. So it'll be 4th down and a punting situation. Neil Lomax made his first start of his career against the Cowboys in the 2nd game of the season last year when Hart was injured. That game Dallas won. So on 4th down, Carl Birdsong to punt from the 23. Ron Fellows, who played his college ball at Missouri, where he was a wide receiver. 1:01 showing on the clock, first quarter. Low snap that bounced, and not a good kick. But the Cowboys let it bounce, penalty marker down, and it takes the St. Louis bounce out of bounds at the 2. But let's wait and see. It's against the Cardinals. And naturally, they'll kick it over.
Well, that's a big break right there for Dallas. That ball just was on a line drive and sailed over, looks like James Jones' head and bounced out of bounds on the 2-yard line.
Appears to be an eligible receiver downfield. Very costly penalty for the Cardinals. Could have really hemmed in the Cowboys inside their 5.
Was that little skip on the ground and caused the delay by Birdsong that allowed someone to take off a little bit early, got downfield too quick. The timing was off on the ball hitting the ground.
Ineligible receiver, downfield on the kick, number 31, offense, 4th down.
It was rookie Earl Farrell and Jim Hannafin, who played college ball under Lynn Pappy Waldorf at University of California. Credits Don Coryell for having the greatest influence on his career. The penalty story so far been relatively penalty-free, and now Birdsong will have to kick from inside the 20. Last year against Dallas, he recovered his own opening kickoff on the Dallas 9 to set up a touchdown. Fellows is back, moving up now to the 25. A better kick by O'Donohue, but Fellows going to have a chance to run this back at the 21. And Fellows gets to the 35-yard line. So a tight game with less than a minute to play. No score. If you were surprised that the Cowboys didn't come out charging after the loss to Pittsburgh, well, they haven't. They've missed some opportunities, haven't gotten on track offensively yet. 1st and 10. Going up the middle, Tony Dorsett, Lee Nelson. The strong safety hits him head on. Dorsett last year in the Cardinal victory gained 99 yards. Lee Nelson was a 15th round draft choice. He's had to fight the odds all his career. Was a walk-on at college at Florida State. Number 15 draft pick in '76. The Browns, as Brent told you, leading Philadelphia 7-0 in the 2nd quarter of their game. New Orleans up ahead of Chicago 7-0 on Stabler's touchdown pass. And Pittsburgh ahead of Cincinnati 7-0 in the 2nd. 2nd down, 6 at the 39. 2 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the 1st quarter. And it ends on a prominent note for the Cardinal defense, which has been superb. So after 1 quarter of play in St. Louis nothing, Dallas nothing, and that's a surprise in itself. Dick Stockton and Roger Staubach. We've had a scoreless 1st quarter here in St. Louis. 3rd and 6. What do you look for here for the Cowboys?
Well, Danny's trying to pick out the guy that's man-to-man. Drew Pearson, the last time, the man that's out by himself is usually man-to-man, and might see him to the sideline.
At the 39-yard line. Cardinals showing blitz. White backed up. He goes to the back. And Tony Dorsett, who's dangerous once he grabs the ball, has a 1st down. Penalty flag is down at midfield, and Carl Allen makes the tackle. Dorsett, as many of the Cardinals told us yesterday, once he grabs the ball, he becomes a runner, but the flag apparently against the Cowboys.
This is interesting right here. The kid from Missouri, Richards, gets a good block on this side, but I think it was Peterson from Missouri that caused the penalty on the other side. The 2 young guards from Dallas, both from Missouri, both from this area, and one looked good in the play and one looked bad.
And neither of them played guard at college at Missouri, as Jerry Markbright marches it off. Big one.
Personal foul, clipping, number 65, offense, 3rd down.
3rd-year man Kurt Peterson. Other scores around the league here in the 2nd weekend of the NFL season. Kansas City leading San Diego 7-0. The Raiders and Atlanta 7-7 1st quarter. Butch Johnson joins Tony Hill and Drew Pearson. 3 wide receivers, 3rd and 11. 5 backs. Ken Green the nickel for the Cards. Opening minute, 2nd quarter. No score. White has enough time. It's deflected and it's intercepted. Ken Green, who had 7 interceptions to lead the Cardinals on a deflected pass. An interception, and the Cardinals are in Dallas territory. And the first big mistake of the game.
What a rush, though, this time. There, Curtis Greer's coming and stunt from the outside. Coming in the inside, and number 73 is on the outside, but big old number 78 that time. Alois Grooms, the former Saint, makes a big play for Ken Green.
And the Cardinals will take over 1st and 10. Told the Cardinals he wants to be traded this week. He reported late because of a holdout. He wants out. He had an outstanding year, lost his starting job to Benny Perrin.
I talked to Ken Green yesterday, and Coach Hannafin said, Ken, we love you. We're not going to trade you. We got 44 players. We want a 45th into the group, and Ken said, I'll be part of the group, but I still want to be traded.
1st and 10 at the 43. 2 tight ends, 1 running back, and Tilley in motion wide for the Cardinals. Back to throw, and here comes John Dutton. And down goes Neil Lomax at the 45-yard line, a loss of about 12 as the 2 tackles, Dutton and Randy White, came up the middle, and Neil didn't have a chance.
Randy White escaped and really is the guy that chased Lomax to get him out of the pocket, and Dutton kind of cleaned up. Watch number 54, Randy White. He gets double teamed. Here's Dutton. Well, Dutton chases him out, chases him over to Randy White. So I'll give Dutton the credit for the pressure, and Randy White, they'll share a sack together.
Randy White, one-man wrecking crew, premier defensive tackle. They double team him, sometimes triple team him. Here's the flip to Otis Anderson, looking for room outside, and Otis Anderson fumbles it out of bounds. We have a penalty flag down. Anderson, before that play, had gained just 7 yards and 5 carries. And this one may go against St. Louis. Apparently it is. O.J. Anderson. Cardinals need him as the Cowboys need Dorsett to generate the offense.
Also, when you get a turnover like that, it really fires a team up, and you've got to take advantage of it. And, of course, St. Louis is moving the ball here, but they're going the wrong way. They've started out at about the 43-yard line, and after this penalty, they'll be well backed up. And, again, field position. They had it, and they're losing
Holding.
it.
Number 68, offense, decline.
Terry Steve guilty of holding. They'll decline the penalty, so it'll be 3rd and 19. And on the sidelines, Jim Hart, 17-year veteran, 38 years old, came back knowing he'd be the backup to Lomax, recalling a similar situation in 1967 when Charlie Johnson was the veteran ahead of him. Stump Mitchell, number 30, is in now.
I would have declined that. I would have wanted to get him back there farther, but they declined it.
3rd and 18 at the 48, and here comes pressure, and Lomax is going for Mel Gray, who can't get over there in time. Covering on the play was Michael Downs. They had the right idea, but not enough mustard on that toss, and it'll be incomplete 4th down for St. Louis.
Now he's throwing it off as his back foot also. He's getting pressure, needs to step up. It's when you do that, you start aiming the football, and Neil has a tendency, when he gets a chance to step off that back foot and release it, his accuracy is much better.
Lomax is now 5 for 9 for 41 yards. It'll be 4th down, and Birdsong will punt. He has kicked twice and has averaged 47 yards. Fellows is the deepest of 3 safeties for the Cowboys at the 10. Completed less than 2 minutes of the 2nd quarter. Still no score. We haven't even had a threat in this game offensively. Good high kick. Ball out of bounds at the 24-yard line, make it the 23. So Dallas comes back on offense as you look at the Cardinals on their sideline. No score still.
On CBS Sports, a spectacular football clash. The Cornhuskers of Nebraska meet the Nittany Lions of Penn State. NCAA football next Saturday on CBS Sports.
23. No score, 13:50 remaining in the first half. Sunsplash Busch Memorial Stadium. Danny White 3 for 7 for 39 yards. Doug Cosbie, tight end, moves tight to the line. At the 23. Pearson in motion. Dorsett to the 26-yard line. We've got quite an attraction coming up next for you on CBS when the San Francisco 49ers go against the Denver Broncos. San Francisco against Denver. Some of you will see Detroit and the LA Rams, and Washington against Tampa Bay. But the 49ers and the Broncos trying to get back after losing their opening weekend, and a lot of lineup changes for San Francisco. New York market will be seeing the 49ers against the Broncos, who are always tough at Mile High Stadium. Jim Hannafin in his 3rd year with the Cardinals.
St. Louis is blitzing that inside linebacker. You're going to see White fake a run and throw it to Springs in the flat before this game's over, and he's going to be wide open.
That was Tony Hill, short of a first down at the 30-yard line. Jeff Griffin makes the tackle for the Cardinals. So Danny White, who actually went to Arizona State on a baseball scholarship and was drafted by 4 major league teams, credit Frank Kush for getting him to stick to football.
What St. Louis is doing, they're over-shifting their line to the weak side, Dick, and then they're bringing a linebacker, really messing the run up for Dallas, but they can take advantage of it in the passing game.
Dorsett has carried 8 times for only 19 yards. At the 30. White has time up the middle of Dorsett, hit immediately, and they're close to a first down. They are very close, right at the sticks. Charlie Baker, who is the hardest hitting linebacker for the Cardinals, was right there to get TD. And we may have a measurement here. Dorsett, as we told you, caught 5 passes for 44 yards, and they may have it just by an inch or so. First down, Cowboys. 5 receptions against the Steelers and 30 yards gained.
First and 10, Dallas.
Well, Danny White is thinking to himself, I've got to come up with a big play here. But again, Dallas has been shut down in the run, and he got to still stay after the run. Dorsett's the type of guy that can be shut down, like you said, 8 carries for 19 yards, but all of a sudden he can break one for about 80. Those statistics change real fast.
We'll see what Tom Landry has on his play card. First and 10 at the 33 now. No score. Ron Springs carries for the first time and head down to the 37-yard line, picks up 4 or 5 yards. So Ron Springs, who scored 12 touchdowns last year to lead the Dallas Cowboys. So right now, question is, with a team that doesn't have a lot of depth on defense, how long can Floyd Peters' defense hold off this team?
He believes depth as the season goes on. He's worried about with the injuries. He likes the 11 people he has on the field. Of course, he's got Ken Green in the secondary to come in, but he's worried about the season. Today, this team looks good. They're healthy, and he should have them for the whole game.
Second down, 6 at the 37. White, quick throw. Tony Hill. Tony Hill, first down, Dallas. Short of midfield, and E.J. Jr., the fine-looking linebacker, makes the stop. Tony Hill, who caught 6 passes and a touchdown pass against the Pittsburgh Steelers, 45-yard touchdown score. Just one of many big play receivers.
He is a big play receiver. 21-yard average per catch, and of course that time White drilled the ball in there, and Hill's got good concentration. He'll go over the middle like Drew Pearson. Big play receivers over the middle, and that's nice to have when you have 2 of them like that.
At the 49-yard line, 12-yard pickup, Danny White. In motion comes Drew Pearson. Play action, and he has time again. Goes outside to Billy Joe DuPree, his tight end, for short yardage, actually about 2 yards. He gets into St. Louis territory at the 49. E.J. Jr. again makes the stop. I think the Cardinals are showing aggressiveness on defense as they did against the Saints, because they are hitting and not letting the Cowboys get extra yards after the catch.
That's Peters' course creed, is to be aggressive, good fundamentals, and he likes that secondary to be aggressive, and they are. The pass rush is solid, 3 good linebackers, and they really have to be aggressive if you're going to play for Peters.
Ken Green in there as the nickel back. He has an interception so far. 2nd and 8, 49-yard line of St. Louis. Backing up, screen to Ron Springs, who has blockers ahead of him, and all of a sudden they disintegrate, and Carl Allen cuts through the blockers to make the tackle on Springs, short of a first down, and that one developed as if we were going to get big yards.
Well, that's what you do when a team is aggressive also, and Peters worried about that yesterday. Dallas really reacts to situations, and the rush has been tough. You go with the screens, you go with the draws, and you slow them down a little bit that way, and of course that could have been a big play if Springs hadn't tripped up.
Carl Allen, acquired from the Cincinnati Bengals in a trade, was an 11th round draft choice back in '77. 3rd and 2 for Dallas at the 43. No score, 9:45 remaining first half. Dick Stockton and Roger Staubach here in St. Louis. In motion, Tony Hill. Pressure on 3rd down. The pass pass is complete to Drew Pearson. First down, Dallas, inside the 35. Middle linebacker Dave Aarons makes the stop. And there's the ammunition they have. So many weapons in that offense.
It was 3rd and 3, and they were going for the first down. White gets back, quick drop right here, and drills it off. Drew just kind of delayed, came underneath all the coverage. The linebackers went back, and they were going for the first down all the way.
How valuable was he to you?
Oh, he was something special. He can make the big plays. He's got great ability with his body control. He'll go over the middle, and he's got deceiving speed, and of course his hands have been fantastic through the years.
They're at the 33, 1st and 10. Cowboys driving. Screen play to Tony Hill. And what a play by Carl Allen, the right cornerback, who has made 2 fine tackles in this drive, and he just stopped a possible big gainer as Tony Hill went nowhere.
Well, he and Carl Allen and Tim Collier have been fighting for that cornerback job. They say Carl Allen can hit and is tough and very aggressive, and he won the job that way, and it shows it right here. Pop. He just goes right through the blocker into Tony Hill, and excellent play by Carl Allen. Number 27.
Floyd Peters has to be delighted with the Cardinal defense so far. It'll be 2nd and 7. Danny White is 10 of 14 for 80 yards. But no points on the board for either club here in the first half. Pressure on White. He gets by 2 men. He's going for Cosbie deep. Cosbie has it. Touchdown, Dallas. What a play by a fine receiver, and Danny White made it happen. It looked like he was going to be thrown for a big loss by Curtis Greer.
Well, that is the sign of a great quarterback, and one of the strengths that Danny White has, he's got the ability, the agility, and that time he was grabbed around the foot and came close to probably being whistled down, but he got away from that one tackler, rolled to his right. Good concentration by Cosbie, and of course White put the ball in the money. So tremendous play.
Rafeal Septien will attempt the point after. This year, his wife greeted him at the airport dressed as E.T., giving out flowers to the coaches and the players. Last year, it was a billboard saying, "Rafeal, I get a kick out of you." She got a sense of humor, huh?
She was carrying a picture so Rafeal would recognize her.
Ogaboom holds, and Septien. Kick is good, and so with 8 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first half, we have our first score of the game, and a spectacular one indeed. The Dallas Cowboys lead the St. Louis Cardinals 7-0, and here's how it happened.
Well, this is why Floyd Peters has lost some hair right here, because everything was covered. He did a good job. The initial rush, there's Curtis Greer. He misses the tackle right here, and it almost could have been ruled dead, but it wasn't. White scrambled to the right. Watch Cosbie's concentration. Number 84 coming in your screen. The big guy, the big tight end, looks that ball in, and of course Griffin's there. Great play by Cosbie. Good throw by White.
29-yard touchdown. Such terrific speed, and makes the clutch play as you remember against the 49ers last year, the 21-yard touchdown play that seemingly put Dallas ahead for good before the Niners came back. Doug Cosbie, who has really come on, 4th year from Santa Clara, as you look at the scoring drive. And the kickoff to Stump Mitchell, 3 yards in the end zone. Mitchell runs it out to the 20 and gets about to the 21-yard line. Well, next week it's more NCAA football action on CBS. It starts off at 3:30 with the NCAA Today, and then you'll see the 3rd-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers, who blew out New Mexico State 68-0, take on the Nittany Lions of Penn State, now ranked 8th in the nation. Penn State, led by All-American running back Kurt Warner, easily defeated Rutgers yesterday. Their record's 3-0, and they have a terrific passing attack. Nebraska 2-0 will counter with their explosive backfield of Roger Craig and Mike Rozier. That's next Saturday at 3:30, the NCAA Today, followed by Nebraska at Penn State. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. In motion, Kurt Martin. 7-0 Cowboys. This pass is complete. Up the middle to Greg LaFleur. First down by a fine receiver in his 2nd year from LSU. Dickerson makes the tackle.
And LaFleur came over from Philadelphia when they cut him, and of course Philadelphia's sorry about that. St. Louis is happy. He looked good last year, and he made a big catch here. And this is where it's important for this offense to keep their poise. Dallas had a heck of a drive, made the big play. Now you don't want to turn the ball over. You got to move the football, stay in the game, do something on offense. Give that defense a rest.
15-yard pickup. Tilley wide to the left. Roy Green split to the right. Tremendous rush. Lomax had no chance. Anthony Dickerson blitzing on the play. So Lomax getting a taste of what it's like to face pressure from the defense as a second-year quarterback.
St. Louis has a tendency to throw a great deal on first down. They feel Lomax will have less pressure on him, so Dallas is going to blitz first down. Ernie Stautner said before the game, we're going to put pressure on him in the passing situations. St. Louis throws more on first down. Dallas blitzes on first down.
Dickerson, who didn't play at all during camp, and the fastest linebacker, Michael Downs, might have been the first one in there on Lomax. 2nd and 10 at the 38. Anderson, nowhere. And there he's ganged up by Harvey Martin. Harvey Martin, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the fiery, emotional leader storms in, had the only quarterback trap for the Cowboys against the Steelers.
There's Harvey in that flex defense. He's coming right down the line, and of course he's not touched right there. Looks like Doug Marsh missed the block. For St. Louis to move the football day, Otis Anderson has to have a big day. I remember the 193 yards he had against Dallas his rookie year opening game, and of course he's been a great running back since, and they need his rushing to do a good job today.
He gets off the ball as fast as anyone in the league. 3rd and 14 on the 34, up the middle and low. And once again, Lomax was getting pressure. Michael Downs coming in on a safety blitz. So the Cowboys are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Lomax in this first half.
Also, when you blitz and you're successful, you keep doing it. You've got to beat it to get him to turn it off. Dallas will keep after him until they can stop the blitz with a quick play or the big play. Right now, it's all Dallas on the blitz.
So with Dallas leading 7-0 and Birdsong punting back at the 20-yard line, it's important here for that St. Louis defense to continue to doing what they're doing, because right now Dallas is gaining the momentum here. Fellows is back at the 25.
It's also important for that offense to keep that defense off the field, let them rest a little bit. They're going back in the field pretty quick.
Great kick by Birdsong. Backs up Fellows, and it takes a St. Louis bounce, and it's down at the 6-yard line. It's down by Randy Love, and so that'll give a shot in the arm to the Cardinals, who need it right now. Cowboys leading the Cardinals 7-0. White to Cosbie, 29 yards for the score. There you see 6:08 remaining in the first half. Dallas starting from the 7. Pitch to Dorsett. Maybe a yard, that's all. Great pursuit by the Cardinals. Benny Perrin and Elois Grooms both combined to make the stop. Grooms particularly. Dorsett has not gotten untracked thanks to the Cardinal pursuit and hitting ability. Gain of 1, 2nd and 8.
Ball on their own line.
The Cowboys have been held, as you can see, by the Cardinals. They had Green with the interception. St. Louis couldn't capitalize, and then the drive for the only score. Dorsett has gained only 22 yards and 9 carries so far. 2nd and 8 at the 9. Play action, and Danny White going up the middle to Drew Pearson, and Pearson catches it in the air. It's a first down at the 23. As Grooms and Ken Green make the stop, and Hannafin says we can't get better defense there. Popped up in the air, and there he had it.
Drew's on a deep in route this time, and again his strength is going over that middle. He gets hit. Good defensive play this time by Carl Allen. He hits them just as the ball gets there. In fact, he gets his left hand on the ball, pops up in the air into the arms of Drew Pearson. He takes it down around the corner, around the bend a little bit, loses a yard trying to make something out of a play, but they got the first down.
And a 12-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the 22. 4:43 remaining in the first half. Curtis Greer almost jumped off sides, and Dorsett trying to find running room. He does, and gets to the 29-yard line. Good gain, and the best of the day for Dorsett. Jeff Griffin makes the stop. Tony Dorsett, the ability to go where the holes are.
Even though he's been held today, he's got that explosive ability right here. Watch him dart in that hole right here. Great speed, acceleration. He breaks into some daylight right here, and he's gone. But Griffin, again, the cornerbacks for St. Louis do a good job tackling. Even if they're knocked out of the play, they're going to get their arms. They're strong, and Griffin made a nice play getting him down.
Dorsett still needs a lot for that 100 mark. Cosbie and DuPree, 2 tight ends. Pearson, wide receiver to the left. 2nd and 2 at the 30. Ron Springs has the first down going up the middle. Jeff Griffin makes the stop, but Dallas is finding a soft spot up the middle against the St. Louis Cardinals defense, and they're at the 37-yard line. First down, and a good block by left tackle Pat Donovan. mixing his plays now, and he's getting some effective runs from both Springs and Dorsett, and he has completed 8 in a row. Dallas started from their 7-yard line following a 60-yard punt by Birdsong. Cowboys lead 7-0. Play action, and White getting time. Doug Cosbie, and the ball knocked away by Lee Nelson. Good play by Nelson, who is 5'10", against Doug Cosbie's 6'6", so he had to go up a bit to make the play. Coming up next on CBS, second game of our NFL doubleheader, the San Francisco 49ers against the Denver Broncos. Those of you in the New York area will see that game as Bill Walsh trying to scramble around, make some changes in the lineup. John Madden and Pat Summerall will bring you that game, and the Denver Broncos going with Craig Morton at quarterback. Some of you will see Detroit against the LA Rams, Washington against Tampa Bay. Butch Johnson in at wide receiver. 2nd and 10 at the 37. 3:13 on the clock. Dorsett. Stopped from behind at the 40-yard line. And a good play once again by Jeff Griffin. The secondaries had a busy afternoon.
Yeah, they're forcing real well, the cornerbacks. That was the old kitchen sink to the right. And everybody pulled. Even Donovan, the left tackle, was pulling off to the right side. And Jeff Griffin got in there, and he knocked down a couple of guards, knocked off the first guard. And, of course, once you do that, it's tough to run that football.
You're looking at the yardage so far, heavily in favor of the Cowboys, but keep in mind that the Cardinals surrendered 408 points, most in the NFC last year. 3rd and 7, where White has hit 8 in a row and 12 out of 17. He missed the one to Cosbie. 8 out of 9. And Tony Hill cut in instead of a sideline pattern, and that was just the mix-up. It'll be 4th down.
White expected him to go to the sideline quicker. Hill made an inside move, then was going back out to the sideline. Their timing was off. White threw the ball too quickly, and St. Louis held him on a 3rd down.
Till talking to Tom Landry. He looks always so calm there. What's he really like?
Tony's saying, Tom, I did what I was supposed to do, and Coach Landry's saying, Tony, evidently you didn't. Tony last week was telling him, hey, I can go deep, and finally they threw the play against Donnie Shell.
Danny White. Good high kick for Danny White, and Stump Mitchell from the Citadel at the 10. Hemmed in. And he gets to the 16-yard line. 2:12 showing on the clock. The Cardinals are trailing 7-0. St. Louis Cardinals trailing 7-0, starting from their 16-yard line. Floyd Peters can't complain with his Cardinal defense so far.
Well, those defenders are saying, please at least get a few first downs. Let us rest over here a little bit. This Cardinal offense has got to get on track, or that defense is going to have some problems the rest of the day.
At the 16, 1st and 10, O.J. Anderson. Morris with a good block, and O.J. knows he can't beat out Barnes and White going to the sideline. Benny Barnes forces him out. And Anderson, like Dorsett, really have not gotten into high gear. Jim Hanifan, teams won 5-11 2 years ago, 7-9 last year, and really had a shot at the playoffs before they lost their last 2. Looking at the Cardinal possessions, they had one chance to score on the missed field goal. It's been a defensive battle. 2nd and 10. Mel Gray is in at wide receiver. 3 wide men in for St. Louis. Lomax is 6 for 12 for 56 yards.
They need a first down. Dallas doesn't do too badly in that 2-minute period, so St. Louis has got to control the ball a little bit here.
Green in motion at 2nd and 10. Lomax. Down. Harvey Martin. Case of the receivers not being covered, at least the primary receiver was covered. Lomax didn't have a chance to look for anyone else.
2-minute warning.
Here's the replay here. Randy White and Harvey doing a game, and again Sharp blocks down on Harvey too long, puts the pressure. Randy puts the pressure, makes Lomax go up in the pocket, and then Dutton was waiting up there, and of course he couldn't do anything, and it was a trap.
Louis Sharp, first draft choice out of UCLA, who was born in Havana, Cuba, left with his parents at the age of 6 for Detroit. We have our 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited. 3rd and 13 at the 13, and here come the Cowboys. Lomax steps up in the pocket and hits his man. First down. Roy Green was not hit and picks up and goes down to the 41, and now they'll bring it back. It'll be a first down in any event, and a good play by Roy Green getting the Cardinals out of danger.
Well, Lomax hung in the pocket. He didn't have that pressure up the middle. Good pressure from the outside. He stepped up. And you got to do this. You got to hang in there. Once he steps up right here, lets those guys go around him, and then he drills it down the middle. Big play right there. That stops them from having to punt from their own end zone, keeps Dallas out of the 2-minute period, and they get a chance now to get something before the half.
20-yard pickup. Roy Green in his 4th year from Henderson State. Two-way player last year. Now a wide receiver. 1st and 10 at the 33. Lomax steps up, and this time he hits his tight end, Doug Marsh. Another first down at midfield.
Now they got to call the timeout now. He got to call the timeout because it's a long play downfield and get into that 2-minute offense. They still have plenty of time.
And both teams have the full complement, and you're right, the Cardinals call a timeout with 1:06 showing. Downs made the tackle.
Here's Doug Marsh is cutting over the middle. He goes to the left, comes back to the right, and of course Lomax picks him up, and he just beats. I guess that's fellow Clinkscale, Dexter Clinkscale that time. And the move to the left, coming back to the right, sets him up in good position to midfield.
17-yard pickup. Other scores around the league. New Orleans still ahead of Chicago 7-0. That game in the 2nd quarter. Same with the Browns, 7-0 over Philadelphia. The Raiders ahead of Atlanta 10-7. And the Jets trying to rebound from the loss to Miami ahead of New England 10-0 in the 2nd quarter. Pittsburgh still leading the Cincinnati Bengals in that big rivalry. Kansas City Chiefs in a surprise over San Diego 13-0. San Diego surprisingly has done very well in Kansas City in recent years. So that's an unusual score. 1st and 10 at midfield. We want to remind you, coming up at halftime, Brennan Irv will have the scores and highlights in their inimitable manner, and legends of the game, the fearsome foursome. Merlin Olsen, Deacon Jones, Lamar Lundy. You remember the other one? L.A. Rams. Right. You faced them many times. Coming up at halftime.
And they were fearsome. The thing now, Lomax is on the side discussing timeouts, calling 2 plays. If they hit one deep over the middle, let's use that other timeout, or let's get out of bounds if we go to the sidelines.
Lomax, 1st and 10 at midfield, hits Roy Green. Green gets a step. He's off to the 30. Roy Green is now out of bounds at the 17-yard line. A big play. Benny Barnes makes the stop, but what a move Roy Green put on.
You know, it's interesting when they hit a play like that. Lomax gets the ball out to the sideline. There's the blitz. Everybody's coming. He throws it. Green makes a good move, and Everson Walls right here gets downfield. And about this time, your offensive linemen are running down the field, and they're all looking back to see if there was a penalty. No penalties. Good play.
Roy Green began last year as a nickel back.
The stutter step move again. We get to see it again.
33-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the 17. 58 seconds to go. Running play off the shotgun, and O.J. Anderson gets inside the 10.
Use that timeout. Use that timeout. They're wasting seconds right now. They're just wasting seconds. There it is.
46 seconds on the clock. Terry Steve and Wayne Morris with the big block on that play. O.J. Anderson, and we're seeing a lot more of that, the run off of the shotgun.
That was an inside move that time also, Dick. He didn't go outside. He started to go outside, cut back inside, so it was a play set up to go inside, and it fooled Dallas.
So the Cardinals on this drive, 20, 17, 33 yards, and 9 yards on the drive, and the big pass to Roy Green started it off.
This is interesting right now. They're talking. This is a time to talk over the sidelines. Hart, Hannafin, and Lomax, because it's 2nd and 1. Do we get that first down and then get up there, throw the ball out of bounds fast, and we got 2 shots into the end zone before the field goal. So at 2nd and 1, if you would have got the first down, this decision would be a lot easier right here. They only have 1 timeout left, and they've got to get the first down. So they'll probably get the first down, try to go wide, get out of bounds, get the first down, and then have a few shots into the end zone.
Well, Lomax has the instructions. 46 seconds to go. The Cardinals have 1 timeout remaining. The Cowboys have all of theirs. Dallas leading 7-0 on a touchdown pass from Danny White to Doug Cosbie, covering 29 yards.
They're going from the shotgun.
So a pass offense on 2nd and 1. Pass formation. Lomax intended for Mel Gray, and Ron Fellows covering incomplete. They use 4 seconds, but it is now 3rd and 1.
Well, they're bringing in the 2 tight ends now, so they're going to get into a running situation and use that timeout after they get the first down. If they get the first down, then they'll have a few shots in the end zone to stop the clock and still have a chance for that field goal.
And now the Cardinals are coming up with their 3 tight end formation. Doug Marsh, Greg LaFleur, and a 10th round draft choice, Eddie McGill from Western Carolina, who they like very much. 3rd and 1 at the 8. In motion is Mark. Anderson has the first down. Penalty marker down with 37 seconds on the clock.
Illegal procedure that time by St. Louis. They got a little mixed up, either the snap count or something went wrong.
These are the kind of, no, it's against Dallas. It's against Dallas. St. Louis will have a first down with 37 seconds to go.
And also stop the clock. They still save a timeout. They can still run a play into that end zone. In case they don't get there, they can use that timeout. So that's a big play right there for that timeout, saving that timeout.
Number 78, defense.
John Dutton.
First down.
Dutton has been playing with a sore foot, and on passing situations, Don Smerick has been in instead. And Tom Landry, who really expected his team to come out flying today, instead sees his team in the traditional battle here. The struggle with the Cardinals in St. Louis. 3 wide receivers, first and goal at the 4. Cardinals up the middle, touchdown, Pat Tilley. Got to be a big boost for the St. Louis Cardinals, and for Tom Landry and the Cowboys, the problems continue. It's 7-6. And Neil O'Donoghue's point after is good. We have a tie game with 32 seconds showing on the clock here in the first half. Penalty marker is down. It's against St. Louis, and they're going to have to kick it again, apparently. Holding. It's a holding call, which is an unusual call on a conversion, isn't it?
Well, it is. That probably the outside guy either stuck his arm out there to Fellows has really been coming in strong, almost blocked that field goal, so they might have grabbed him. This isn't a chip shot anymore now.
Nope. Although O'Donoghue.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 58, offense, re-kick.
Penalty was against Dave Aarons, a linebacker who's on the kicking team. So they're going to re-kick this one from the 19. It'll be a 29-yard. There's Aarons pleading his case to no avail. Roger Worley will hold on a 29-yard point after attempt by O'Donoghue, who just missed one last year. This kick is good. So again, we have a tie.
Another tie. That was a picture-perfect drive by St. Louis. Boy, that big play over the middle to Roy Green got him started. And Pat Tilley finished it off.
Master of the moves. He got open, Pat Tilley.
Well, Lomax, that'll give him some confidence. He did an excellent job in this drive. And again, the shotgun's unusual down at the 5-yard line, but they go for it, and they have a little play over the middle. A couple receivers open. Marsh was open behind Tilley, but Tilley, watch Tilley. Here's Tilley, number 83, makes a little move to the inside. Now watch him stop, break back to the outside, gets Clinkscale confused, and there he is wide open. And of course, you got to give Lomax credit. A lot of people running around there, and he found the open receiver.
8 plays, 84 yards. And it just took the Cardinals 1 minute and 40 seconds. But you have to credit Lomax not only for getting the ball in the end zone, because a lot of quarterbacks can get close, but he got him out of trouble deep in his own end when he hit Roy Green on that big play to get him out of trouble.
2 scrambles, one to Roy Green, the other to Marsh. 2 big plays on the drive, and St. Louis took advantage of his mobility.
Well, you've been in that spot before. O'Donoghue kicking off. His confidence has to be just upgraded so much. Fellows trying to chase the ball. It goes out of bounds, and he'll kick again from the 30-yard line. You're a quarterback, and you know you're going to face the pressure of a tremendous defense from the Dallas Cowboys, the front four, and you're in a 7-7 game. What are you thinking about?
Well, the big thing is to stick with what you're set up to do as far as your game plan is concerned, and also realizing it's going to take some big plays to make things happen, but don't start those big plays before you have to. In other words, hang in there and do the things you have to do and make that decision. And that's a tough thing to do. Make that decision when you have to. When it's time to make a big play, hopefully you can still make them.
There's Pat Tilley, outstanding receiver, 7th year from Louisiana Tech. Caught 66 passes last year, was in the Pro Bowl 2 years ago.
You know, this is interesting right here, too, Dick. That kicking that ball out of bounds is going to set Dallas up. 32 seconds to go, and the Dallas Cowboys have a lot of big play people.
3 timeouts.
This half is not over yet.
Well, what did you say yesterday? Don't try and do it all yourself.
That's exactly right. And Lomax today, as he's made that decision, I think, to try to make the big play when he has to. You don't want to get too jumpy in that pocket, and he's kept the ball away from that Dallas secondary. No interceptions, no turnovers.
End over end kick. Fellows inside the 10. Good return to the 32-yard line. 28 seconds showing on the clock, and see how the Cowboys, Roger Worley makes the tackle. See how the Cowboys can get into position for a possible field goal. There you're looking at the situation. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, Brendan Irv with the scores and highlights around the league and a lot of close encounters in the NFL this afternoon.
You know, a few years ago, Tom Landry with 28 seconds to go, 70 yards away before the half, he'd go in and regroup, but not anymore. They've really worked in that 2-minute offense, big play people, and they like to go for it.
The other thing, Danny White really has been throwing longer this year. Most clubs are going to short passing, not Dallas.
Right.
At the 32, 1st and 10. White off balance, and it's intended for Butch Johnson. Benny Perrin defending on the play, and the Cowboys are asking the side judge, and Johnson is vehement with it, and so does Ernie Staudner. They think Perrin interfered.
Hey, Johnson is really upset. It looked like Perrin got there when the ball did, but let's take a look at his left hand and see if it's on Butch's shoulder right here. Perrin is number 23, Johnson 86. They'll come into your picture. White again, a lot of mobility, good pressure, but he gets out of the grass, throws the ball up right here. It's close. It looks like it was a good play.
Pretty good throw by White off balance, I'd say. 2nd and 10 at the 32. There's the time remaining, 21 seconds. 7-7 the score. White finds Butch Johnson this time, and a 1st down at the 48-yard line, and immediately the Cowboys call timeout. Tim Collier makes the stop. Danny White is now 13 for 20 on the afternoon, and a timeout, 14 seconds showing on the clock, and Dallas needs about another 15 or so yards, or 20, to get Septien ready for a 3-point.
This reminds me a little bit, of course, this series 28 seconds ago, that playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers. Danny White hit Drew Pearson, and of course Eric Wright made a great play to bring Drew down. Dallas looked like they might get in field goal position, and the fumble right before the game ended. And of course Danny White right now has at least 15 yards to go, 15 to maybe 20 to get in field goal range.
The Cowboys coming into this game were confident they could move the ball against this defense. What do you think Tom Landry told Danny White there? What is he looking for?
Well, Dallas has got a play where they send the wide receiver over the middle, send the tight end to the post. If the weak safety Perrin starts to come up on the man coming over the middle, White might go long here to the post to the tight end. Other than that, they might get the sure 15 to 20 yards over the middle. Hopefully, it's not sure, but hopefully try to hit that, get in, take the timeout, and get into field goal range.
Septien last year had an incredible campaign, 27 field goals, including 9 in a row at some point. 20-yard pickup on the last play. 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 48.
Keep an eye on Butch Johnson to the post.
He's in motion. White going for Tony Hill. He has it inside the 30 and nearly the 25-yard line. 7 seconds to go, and the Dallas Cowboys have called a timeout with 7 seconds to go, and here comes Septien to try to give Dallas the lead with a field goal attempt.
Well, that was an excellent throw right there. Tony Hill's just running a deep curl in right. There's Dorsett, though. He's influencing people to the short area, takes the linebacker out of there, and leaves Jeff Griffin man-to-man on Tony Hill, and Tony, with his height, leaps up and catches the ball, puts him in field goal range.
Nelson and Griffin combined to make the stop, and so Rafeal Septien, one of 11 free agents on the Dallas Cowboys. That's amazing when you consider how successful they have been. Septien coming off the finest season you can imagine for a kicker, right in the middle of that group. He tied the NFL scoring championship with Ed Murray of Detroit, 121 points, 27 field goals, including 9 in a row.
Well, that's a lot of AstroTurf in 21 seconds, though, isn't it? Coming 30 down to the 25.
A 43-yard attempt by Septien. Holding is Gary Hogeboom, the backup quarterback. Ball at 44 yards.
Partially blocked.
No good and short, and the Cardinals defensed it. Dismissed by Rafeal Septien, so each team has missed a field goal in this game, and with 2 seconds remaining, the score remains 7-7.
That ball was really kicked well, probably right down the middle, but it was blocked. Someone got a hand on it. See if we can spot the guy in this group. They're bringing everybody. Good time for a fake field goal. They had nobody back there. There it is. Looks like maybe E.J. Jr.
It may be Junior or Collier, I'm not sure. It's a number ending in 4. And it is Tim Collier, I believe. Tim Collier, 7 years, cornerback from East Texas State. And the Cardinals run out the clock. That's the end of the first half. And listen to the crowd. They got a tie, but to them, that's like a moral victory at this point. So the Dallas Cowboys, Piano missed a 44-yard field goal in the waning seconds of the second quarter. Will be booting it. Stump Mitchell is standing at the goal line for the Cardinals. 7-7 the score here. Here's Mitchell. Picked up by Earl Farrell, a rookie running back. Farrell still going. Down at the 27-yard line. Let's take a look at what the quarterback story has been so far. Danny White, 14 of 21. Once again, good statistics. And Neil Lomax hasn't done that badly either in the face of the Dallas pressure.
Stayed away from those interceptions. Of course, that last drive where they picked up most of that yardage, did an excellent job. 2 scrambles, 2 big plays to Green and Marsh that set up the touchdown to Tilley. So Lomax is on a roll right now in this key third quarter. Games are won and lost in the third quarter, especially an underdog team. You want to go in the fourth quarter challenging that favorite.
At the 27, 1st and 10, Otis Anderson gets nothing. Anderson gained only 13 yards and 9 carries in the first half. That's less than 2 yards a carry, and his longest gain was 9 yards. Randy White makes the tackle. Dorsett didn't do much better with 34 yards, so the Cardinals trying to establish some sort of Anderson on the ground early here.
I think they've got to send him up the middle off tackles where he can do his best job and kind of look for some daylight and cut back. The wide sweeps haven't done any good, and he can break one up the middle with his strength.
Third quarter was the death knell for the Cowboys against the Steelers Monday night. That's where they lost the game. 2nd and 11 at the 26. Lomax has Anderson. Terry Steve with an outstanding block, and O.J. Anderson is close to a first down. Terry Steve through the key block, and Anthony Dickerson makes the stop on it.
Well, Lomax is looking downfield, but this play was basically set up to the outside, and what he's doing is when he looks downfield, he's trying to get those linebackers to drop off deep, and here he is looking downfield again. The linebackers are going back. The linebackers in the zone especially, they're looking at that quarterback, and finally he turns, and Terry Steve, number 68, coming into your picture right now and hitting number 51 Dickerson, springs Anderson loose for another 10 to 12 yards. Good move on Michael Downs right there, an extra few yards, and an excellent play to come out in the third quarter.
There is Terry Steve, who originally was with the New Orleans Saints. He was acquired by trade. He's an offensive co-captain along with Deerdorf in his 6th year from Wisconsin. So Steve and Bostic along with Deerdorf, and then you have Sharp and Robbins, the 2 rookies.
They missed that first down by a few inches.
3 tight ends in there for the Cardinals now. Doug Marsh, Greg LaFleur, and Eddie McGill. on the 37. And look how tight they are. Marsh in motion. Anderson. It's close, but I think he has it.
Very unusual play on 3rd and inches. He's back 7 yards deep, and someone penetrates. They can knock him for a loss or usually try to go in quick with some type of wedge, but I think he made it, Dick.
Bob Brunig makes the tackle on Otis Anderson in his 4th year from Miami, who actually has outrushed Tony Dorsett the last 3 years. So the Dallas defense being tested here, and Lomax obviously looking with more confidence in this first series.
Last drive he had sure picks you up, and a young quarterback, even the veteran quarterback, he just play better when you have confidence, and that last drive had to give him confidence.
3 wide receivers for St. Louis at the 38 first down. Roy Green in motion. He's made some big plays already. No chance. No chance. Michael Downs on the safety blitz. And Lomax couldn't even get his arm up.
See, Dallas saw that motion come across, and that really triggered their blitz. When they saw an unusual formation, they just went right up that line of scrimmage. I mean, here's Downs, and of course, no one touches him. Deerdorf has to block on Bruning, and Downs comes in from the outside. Also, Steve blocked off to the left on Randy White, so it's a big trap by Downs.
You know, Michael Downs, of course, a free agent, had a pinched nerve in his neck and is a senior, and most scouts scouted his aggressiveness. So how wrong were they?
They were extremely wrong, because he was a leading tackler in the Dallas Cowboys last year.
Larry Bethea, number 76, is in as a pass rusher at 2nd and 17. And Lomax out of the pocket looking for Marsh, the tight end. He has it. First down, St. Louis in Dallas territory. Michael Downs knocks him out of bounds.
Randy White and Neil Lomax are saying something to each other back there. And of course, Randy's looking at the referee. But Lomax again gets out of trouble right here. Good pressure on the inside. Deerdorf picks up White. Ed Jones is pushed to the side, and of course, Doug Marsh comes downfield. Lomax picks up another receiver downfield off of a scramble, and he's done it 3 or 4 times today, all big plays.
Doug Marsh had 2 separate injuries, only played 4 games last year, was a second-round draft choice from Michigan in his 3rd year. 1st and 10 following the 21-yard play at the 47 of Dallas. Wayne Morris up the middle and close to a first down. Wayne Morris came into the game with 244 straight carries without a fumble. Good block by Bostic.
Every once in a while, they'll give it to someone other than Otis Anderson. This time, Bostic, Deerdorf, and Steve open up that middle. Good block on the middle linebacker, Bruning, and they're down the middle for about an 8 or 9 yard gain. And Wayne Morris gets a carry. He doesn't drop too many, does he?
No, 246 now without a fumble. He's carried twice today. 2nd and 1. Greg LaFleur is in. 2 tight end alignment. Pat Tilley, the lone wide, is a receiver to the left. Green is wide right. Lomax going up top, and it's intercepted. Penalty marker down. Benny Barnes intercepts for the Cowboys. Barnes back to the 25-yard line. Still going, and he's finally hit at the 35.
There's a flag in the middle of that.
As we said, there's a penalty marker, and it was behind, and several of them down, and pointing all over the place, and we'll wait to see them sift this out, and it looks as if it's against Dallas.
Lomax threw that. I don't know if someone was held up or not. Evidently, there was someone grabbed in that secondary, but Lomax shouldn't have thrown that football.
Illegal chuck against the Cowboys. But you're right about that. Lomax threw the ball in just a sea of blue shirts back there.
Illegal contact foul, number 24, defense, automatic first down.
So instead of an interception for Dallas, Emerson Walls is hit with a penalty, and now a first down for the Cardinals at the 34-yard line. Dan Deerdorf, the 11-year veteran who's playing center for the first time, is out of the game, and Randy Clark is the center, number 64. Here's Anderson. Anderson gets a couple up the middle, hit by Anthony Dickerson. There's no question in this drive anyway, Roger. I think the Cardinals are playing much crisper football, and Lomax obviously more confident.
Well, they had the drive before the half, so this is their first drive of the second half. It's 2 in a row. They've moved the ball on the ground this drive also, which is significant, and most of it's been up the middle with Anderson, and of course Wayne Morris got 9 yards up the middle also.
Evans is out of the game in the secondary for the Cowboys, and Dexter Clinkscale is in there. There's Randy Clark, third year from Northern Illinois, replacing Deerdorf at center. 2nd and 6. Lomax has time, and Anderson has it, but he can't get away from Dickerson. And if he had, he would have rumbled close to that goal line. So Anderson on the reception. Short of a first down by about a yard or two.
I like Lomax's poise on that. He was looking downfield, didn't have anything, laid it off to Anderson to the side and put him into a short yardage situation.
What did the Cowboys think of Lomax when they looked at him when he was a senior?
Gil Brandt really liked him. Gil was very high on him and said that even Lomax has mentioned that Dallas said they were going to draft him if he was available in the first round, which he was, and they passed him by, and St. Louis picked him up in the second round.
Cowboys had enough quarterbacks, I think. 3rd and 2 at the 25. Anderson does not make it, I don't believe. Trying to go off the right side, and Ed Jones. We haven't had his name mentioned much today. Too tall Jones makes the stop on that play.
Comes the coach tester right now. 3rd and about a foot. The fans will want him to go for it, and the coach has to make a decision on this 4th and a foot. They have to make a decision on the field goal, and they're going to kick the field goal. Well, they're sending 2 tight ends in, and O'Donoghue was on the sideline. He came back, so they're going to go for it.
What do you think?
I'll tell you in about...
I told you not allowed to do that. You didn't like it when they did that to you.
No, it's a long yard. It's 4th and about a yard and a half.
I get the feeling you think they should go for the 3.
They have Otis Anderson, though. It's a decision that you can't argue with as long as they make it. Then I'll argue with it.
But not one of those wide plays.
I'd go for it.
All right.
I'd go for it.
3 tight ends. And Lomax looking to throw. And he's going to be called for intentionally grounding. Harvey Martin went after him, and Lomax did not have a receiver. He threw the ball away to avoid the sack, and that just explodes as Martin takes a shot at Lomax. Martin and Lomax going at it, and that breaks up. Lomax doesn't want any part of that, but that really blew up in the Cardinals' face, that play.
They should have kicked the field goal, like I said before. That'll be one you read about in the papers on Monday, is why didn't they kick that field goal? But again, they're in that 26-yard range. Another 10 yards. It's 36, almost a 40-yard field goal. They had about a yard and a half to go. It wasn't a bad decision. Of course, it backfired, and now Dallas has field position.
Intentional grounding, number 15, offense, loss of down, first down, Dallas, timeout.
That says it all. Here it is again.
Missed the handoff.
Was supposed to go to Morris. He missed the handoff, and now
there's no receivers. It's a running play, of course. There's not much he can do. Tries to get around Martin. Martin does a good job. He throws it away, and a good call by the referee.
Cowboys will take over 1st and 10 on their 35 when we come back. Dan Deerdorf moves to center in his 11th year. Said he was nervous as a rookie, but he's learning the position. He was kicked in the knee, but he will return. Native of Canton, Ohio, and hopes to come back to Canton, Ohio someday as a member of the Hall of Fame. An outstanding player. At the 35, 1st and 10, Danny White 14 for 21 for 163 yards and 1 touchdown pass. 7-7 the score. Butch Johnson in motion. Dorsett, nothing. Great pursuit by Rush Brown, number 69, the right tackle. The whistle had blown, and Charlie Baker coming in as well. Rush Brown never played football in high school. In fact, he never saw a game in person or on TV. He went into the service out of high school, and in Germany, as an ammunition sergeant, played basketball, and then started to get into football. He liked it, went to the library, read about the game, went to Ball State, where Irv Cross went to school, and was a 10th round draft choice. He's in his 3rd year, and the 26-year-old rookie 3 years ago has done awfully well. 2nd and 12 at the 33. Dorsett has gained 32 yards on 12 carries. White to the air. Intended for Pearson, incomplete. Jeff Griffin defending on the play.
I got a rumor from the Dallas locker room that they put their white jerseys under their blue jerseys for this half. There's stuffy under there.
You know, it's funny.
It might work.
You know, it's amazing that in the sophisticated age of professional football, people reduce this all to what color jerseys you're wearing.
And they're, you know, I didn't even realize the statistics on the road aren't good in those blue jerseys.
Aren't good.
Why?
21 and 25, Roger.
What kind of jersey have anything to do with anything?
For the Dallas Cowboys, 21 and 25 is blasphemous.
Terrible.
Tim Collier in, number 44 at cornerback. 3rd and 12 now for Danny White out of the spread. In motion, Butch Johnson. Cardinal defense has been superb. Pressure on Danny White. Mike Dawson and Lois Broom. This team is turned around defensively. No matter what happens the rest of this game, they really look good.
Well-covered receivers downfield that time. I was looking around. Tony Hill had 2 people around him. Butch Johnson was, again, deep to the post, but he was well-covered, and Danny didn't want to throw an interception, and he took the trap.
Either throw it away or take the trap. You don't want to throw the ball in a crowd. It'll be 4th down with 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go, and Floyd Peters already has earned his pay with the Cardinals because they were one of the best defensive teams in preseason. Danny White's kick and Earl Farrell at the 25. Penalty flag is down. And Bob Brunig hits it out of bounds or on the 30-yard line. There was a penalty.
It was thrown at Roger Worley.
47-yard punt. E.J. Jr. in the conference. 7-7 the score with 7:37 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Cardinals playing outstanding defensive ball and Lomax looking better and better. And the Cowboys, losing their opener to Pittsburgh, still haven't gotten on track. Personal foul against the Cardinals.
That's what you don't want to see. That field position is so critical, as we talked about. 3rd down conversions, turnovers. The Cardinals have hung in there with not too many mistakes, but that's costly on the specialty teams.
Hannafin wants to know all about that call. Jim Hannafin, whose folks came from Ireland. Grandfather, one of the original protesters in Ireland's famed uprising in 1919.
He's a protester right now. Jim.
Unnecessary roughness, a shot out of bounds on the return, 1st down, timeout.
Hannafin shaking his head. That sets the ball down to the 15, and the crowd doesn't like it either. We're at 7-7. 7:37 remaining in the 3rd. The home opener for the St. Louis Cardinals against the Dallas Cowboys. We've told you how close this rivalry has been, and it has continued to be so in this game. 1st and 10 at the 15. Lomax 13 for 20. In motion, Doug Marsh, the tight end. Anderson's gained only 18 yards. Lomax ducks out of trouble. Incomplete. He was going for Anderson and threw it a little bit too hard. Ed Jones putting pressure on.
Good job on Lomax, though. He ducked away and saw Anderson and just threw it a little bit too hard. He was not under control when he threw it.
Big games to follow on CBS in the second part of our doubleheader. The San Francisco 49ers trying to get even on the season against the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium, where it's always tough to win. John Madden, Pat Summerall will bring you the action. Detroit against the LA Rams. Some of you will see Washington at Tampa Bay. And our viewers in the New York area will see the 49ers Broncos game following this one. 2nd and 10 at the 15. 7:31 to go, 3rd quarter. Here's Roy Green in motion. Quick toss to Green at the 22, but he can't go anywhere as Dennis Thurman and Everson Walls combine to bring him out of bounds, short of a 1st down.
Well, that 15 yards in that specialty team push out of bounds is costly. They started back in their 15. They have to be a little tentative. Other than that, they've been on their 30, and this is a big 1st down for them to get the 3 yards.
What is Landry as calm as he looks?
He's talking to Danny White. I remember when I was on the sidelines, he's concentrating, talking to White. That first game I played, he said, get in that football game. Football teaches you initiative, individuality, and leadership. Now get in there and run those plays exactly the way I call them. I'll never forget it.
That's great. Just do it my way, right? 3rd and 3 at the 23 for Lomax in a 7-7 ball game. Lomax has time. O.J. Anderson drops the ball. There was no one between O.J. Anderson and the goal line. Mike Hegman was the closest, and Anderson had an easy touchdown go through his fingers.
Well, Jim Hanifin's head hit his chin, hit his chest. Lomax chin hit his chest, and of course Otis Anderson, no one feels any worse than he does. He was really looking for the first down here, Lomax, and he sees a crossing route right now. The floor is covered, and all of a sudden he spots Anderson just wide open down the middle. The ball's a little bit long. It was catchable. Anderson let it get through the fingers.
Tough break, but you got to keep on going. And now Neil O'Donoghue, or Carl Birdsong, I should say, will punt from inside the 10. 6:34 remaining in the third quarter. Wow. Good high kick. And Fellows is back inside the 20. Great coverage by Earl Farrell. And the Cowboys will start from inside the 20 following that 58-yard boomer by Birdsong.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, a spectacular football clash. The Cornhuskers of Nebraska meet the Nittany Lions of Penn State. NCAA football next Saturday on CBS Sports.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line. Birdsong with two key punts today. 60 yards in the second quarter, and that 59-yarder been a big part of Dallas's defense. First and 10 at the 19. In motion, Doug Cosbie. Quick burst up the middle. Tony Dorsett close to the 30-yard line, but it has not been a day for the running backs as Perrin and Aarons make the stop. You're looking at two of the supreme running backs in the game, Anderson and Dorsett. That's what they've done the last 3 years, well over 1,000 yards. Dorsett was second to George Rogers. But as far as today's action is concerned, that's it.
It was the longest run of the day for Dorsett, 9 yards.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1 at the 28. Danny White. Ron Springs, the upback, has the first down past the 31. Yeah, there's something about that play to Anderson before.
The ball was thrown to Anderson, and to his credit, though, or he feels terrible about it, but it was thrown over his shoulder. It was a wide receiver probably would have had that, but a running back's kind of used to catching the ball out in front in the chest, and that would have been a tough catch. And it was a little bit long. A big play, though. He, as you mentioned, would have walked in the end zone.
Hanifin with Lomax now, who has really played well today, and the offensive line has really been at least adequate, maybe better than that. Dorsett looking for rolling room. Runs right past Lee Nelson and picks up close to 8 yards on the play. Dorsett is really going stronger here and accelerating much quicker than he did in the first half. And a good block by the right tackle Jim Cooper in his 6th year from Temple.
Well, Jim Myers got that offensive line on the sidelines, and I know Jim Myers and Tom Landry talks, hey, let's get back to the game plan. Let's go at him. Let's get that running game going. I don't care what's happened before. Let's run at him. That's what they're doing. They're running right at him, and they're going to make that running game go one way or the other.
And the Cardinals defense, as you look at Landry on the sideline, predicated on stopping the run, as Floyd Peters' defenses did at Detroit. 2nd and 3 at the 39 with 4:25 remaining third quarter. 7-7 the score. Dorsett has a first down up the middle, close to midfield. And Lee Nelson makes the shoot top tackle on Dorsett. And what you just said, Rogers, bearing out, that's exactly what the Cowboys are doing.
Well, that Cardinal defense, though, has been something special today. They have really played tough in the trenches, good pressure on the quarterback. They've stopped the run. This is a key drive, though. St. Louis, after the disappointment. Here's Dorsett up the middle. Good turnout block by Rafeal, number 64, on the big nose man, Mike Dawson. That got the play going, and Dorsett took advantage of that hole.
Dorsett has gained over 1,000 yards 11 years in a row, and that includes his days back in Aliquippa High School in Pennsylvania. 1st and 10. Cowboys own 48 with 3:43 to go. Swing pass out to Tony. Tony to midfield, and Dorsett is hit into St. Louis territory at the 49-yard line by both Jeff Griffin and the middle linebacker Dave Aarons. So Dorsett is the man of the moment in this drive for Dallas.
Jim Hanifin is hot on the sidelines. He's yelling at the referee. He thought that number 64 that time, Rafferty, was downfield. The ball was thrown, and of course the lineman can't be downfield until it's thrown. And he's arguing to no avail.
Cowboys, by the way, are facing the same defensive alignment they did against Detroit. Remember that 12th man controversy? Lions won by a field goal. Cowboys had the 17-0 lead. It's the same defense. Two tight ends for Dallas on 2nd and 6, Cosbie and DuPree. Cosbie in motion. Danny White overthrows Tony Hill. It'll be 3rd and 6. let's take a look at scores in the baseball pennant races in the National League, where the St. Louis Cardinals have a 3.5-game lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia trailing Pittsburgh 6-1. Montreal losing as of late in third place, leading Chicago 4-2, and the Cardinals leading 3-0. So the fans here in St. Louis are happy about their Cardinals, both in baseball and football. Tony Hill and Butch Johnson, along with Drew Pearson, 3 wide receivers, 3rd and 6. Going for Tony Hill, first down at the 40-yard line. Just a simple square out pattern. How do you defend against this, Ron?
This is the same play earlier that White missed. Tony Hill made a move, and this time he ran out quicker to the sideline. That's what they were arguing about before. Tony did not break it out quick enough on man-to-man coverage. White overthrew it. This time it was timing. Good move, good pass.
2 minutes 46 seconds remaining in the third quarter. All the scoring in the second period. White to Cosbie, 29 yards for a touchdown, and then in a last half-minute drive, Lomax to Pat Tilley for 4 yards, and that's been the scoring. Looking for the swing pass, going the other way to Springs. Springs gets a good block from Howard Richards. And Ron Springs is inside the 20 and the 10-yard line and out of bounds. Ron Springs stopped by Jeff Griffin, but it was Howard Richards, the left guard from Missouri, who's at 6'6", who made the key block, along with Drew Pearson.
Here's White is coming back. He fakes the Springs, looks out to Dorsett, pumps out there, but look at the lineman out there. Number 70's out there. Rafeal, number 64, is out there. Good blocking at the point of attack by the lineman. Rafeal gets his block. Springs is down the sideline. Of course, there's Carl Allen, the last man, forces him a little bit to the outside, and Jeff Griffin comes over and cleans up. Big play for the Cowboys.
Big 34-yard play by the Cowboys. Ron Springs, who was the co-receiving leader along with Tony Hill last year. So he's been used out of the backfield. And here is an end around to Billy Joe DuPree, who is in for the touchdown. An end around tight end with Tony Hill setting the block. DuPree gives the Cowboys the lead on a play that totally confused the Cardinals.
That's a good first down call. St. Louis on the 6-yard line, expecting to run. They fake the play inside off the I formation, both to Springs and Dorsett, and handed off to DuPree. Pursuit wasn't there. DuPree scored.
Billy Joe DuPree, 6-yard touchdown run, and that was one of the things that Floyd Peters told us yesterday in practice that he feared as Septien prepares for the point after, and that was some of the gadget plays the Cowboys use so effectively. Ogaboom is holding. Kick is good. 2 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 9 plays, 81 yards. Here is how the play happened.
Good first down play. And off the I formation, little fake here and there, both the Springs and Dorsett, and those linebackers were caught inside. Good block to the outside by Tony Hill, number 80, and DuPree's going to spike the ball.
10th-year veteran out of Michigan State, who was the top playoff receiver last year for the Cowboys, who now lead it 14-7, 2:28 remaining in the third. Teacher's work is never done. Floyd Peters talking to his defense, telling them what they did wrong and what they should have done. And perhaps the Cardinal defensive line has been on the field a long time, maybe tiring a bit as you look at the scoring drive and the score here in the third quarter. Septien will kick off. Stump Mitchell is at the 5. There was Farrell back. A yard in the end zone. Earl Farrell brings it out beyond the 25-yard line. Well, next week, more NCAA football action on CBS. It all starts at 3:30 with the NCAA Today with Brent Musburger, Aaron Parsegian. Then you'll see the third-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. Boy, they blew out New Mexico State 68-0 against the Penn State Nittany Lions, who are now ranked 8th and heading up. Kurt Warner, the All-American running back. They beat Rutgers yesterday. They're 3-0. Nebraska's 2-0. Penn State going to the air, an exciting team. And Blackledge has 12 touchdown passes, I believe, this year. Should be a dandy of a game next Saturday on CBS. First First and 10 at the 26. Marsh, the tight end, in motion. Pass complete to Roy Green. Dennis Thurman hits him immediately. Picks up about 8 yards on the play. Every time something has gone against the Cardinals in this game, they have come back. They have not been wilted by whatever pressure's been on their rush.
No, they've shown a lot of tenacity, and I like that play right there. Come out. This drive, again, is a critical drive. Dallas scored a long drive. You want to get at least some first downs. Of course, you want to get that touchdown, but you want to keep that defense, let them rest a little bit on the sidelines. That time, Tootie Robbins and Bo Sharp have done an excellent job today. We've talked about that matchup on Ed Jones and Harvey Martin. They've pretty well turned him to the outside. The pressure that Lomax has got has been on blitzes and usually up the middle.
So in other words, Sharp and Robbins have done more than just okay. Two tight ends, 2nd and 2 at the 34. LaFleur joins Marsh. Anderson cut for a loss by Anthony Dickerson. Anthony Dickerson playing in place of Guy Brown, who has a fractured, dislocated left thumb, which is in a cast. And Dickerson, who has tremendous big play potential and natural ability, but really did not play much at camp and had been a doubtful performer.
He's done a good job today, but I think Anderson that time, he has to know his down and distance. 2nd and 2, and don't try to make a big play out of a play that stopped. He could have hit in there, and it'd be 3rd and about a yard now instead of 3rd and 3.
1 minute to play in the 3rd period. 3rd and 3 at the 33. Lomax trying to keep the drive going. He's hit, and it's intercepted. Everson Walls. And a fumble. Cowboys pick it up, and it's anybody's ball. Benny Barnes picked it up, and Lomax is hurt. Randy White charged into Lomax. Walls had intercepted, fumbled, and Barnes picked it up. And Everson Walls, who led the league with 11 interceptions last year, gives the Cowboys great field position inside the 30.
Everson Walls has sticky fingers also. He makes a great play here. Here's Lomax. He has enough time right now, but he can't find a receiver. And there's Randy White, gets the late escape, and Walls just fights for the ball right there and outfights Mel Gray, and he fumbles. Pops back up into Dallas' hands, and Benny Barnes was the man on the spot.
42 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Cowboys with a golden opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 28. Tony Hill spun away and was stopped by Curtis Greer, the right end, who grabbed him from the foot. Short gain. So the Cowboys are an important series, I would think, Roger, leading 14-7. You don't want to miss this chance to put points on.
First St. Louis turnover, and Dallas wants to take advantage of it. They're going to probably have to go into the 4th quarter to do it.
Keep in mind the last 6 meetings between these clubs here in St. Louis have been decided by less than a touchdown. A couple overtime games between these two rivals in recent years. This is the last play of the quarter, and Ron Springs gets to the 24-yard line, and that is the end of the 3rd quarter here at Busch Memorial Stadium in St. Louis. The Dallas Cowboys are leading the St. Louis Cardinals 14-7. They'll have the ball at the 24. A stunning setback Monday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers, leading 14-7 over the Cardinals, who defeated New Orleans in their season opener. It's 3rd and 6 of the 24.
They've got Tony Hill man-to-man out here on Tim Collier. I'd look for Hill.
White 18 for 27, 210 yards. On 3rd down, going for the downs, touchdown.
What a pass there.
Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson, the touchdown. The all-time Cowboy receiving leader went from an unknown free agent to stardom in this game, and he beat Jeff Griffin to the corner of the end zone, and the Cowboys lead it 20-7.
Looked like an automatic that time, Dick. St. Louis indicated a blitz by the linebackers, and Griffin was uptight on Drew Pearson, and White probably automatic that to a quick route. They call it a quick 9. Just a deep route, man-to-man on the defensive back, and it's a perfect throw. Griffin was in pretty good position.
Septien with Hogaboom holding, and on 5 seconds into the 4th quarter, the Cowboys with Danny White's 2nd touchdown pass of the game. Septien adds the 21st point. So So Danny White having himself quite an afternoon with 2 touchdown passes, giving him 6 so far in this young season.
21. St. Louis 7. Correction on game. Touchdown reception. Drew Pearson.
Picture touchdown play.
Here's White right now, and Griffin just came up head up with Drew Pearson, so it's just a quick route over Griffin's head. He's got to look back right now, and he looks back a little late. The ball's perfectly thrown. He's in good position. Pearson concentrates. Great catch, great throw, and good defense.
Top of the screen.
Right here he runs by him, and Griffin really doesn't look back until the receiver does. Right now Drew's looking back. Griffin looks back a little bit late, loses the ball right here, but it's perfectly thrown.
And a picture play. And we'll return to Busch Memorial Stadium after this word from your local station. To 7, the Dallas Cowboys leading. That was a quick drive, 3 plays, 24 yards, and the touchdown pass to Drew Pearson. And it all started with the turnover, the interception by Everson Walls. Griffin fumbles, he has to run it out. Griffin is stopped short of the 10-yard line, and I have to think, Roger Staubach, that this is a critical drive and series coming up for St. Louis.
Well, it is. If they want to get in this football game, they've got to do something with the ball now. But Griffin, first mistake was to drop the ball. The second mistake was run out of the end zone.
Scores of other games. New Orleans leading Mike Ditka's Chicago Bears 10-0. It's Chicago's home opener. Cleveland over Philadelphia now 14-10 in the fourth quarter of that game. The Raiders way ahead of Atlanta 31-7. And the New York Jets 24, New England 7 in the fourth quarter. Cincinnati come back to tie Pittsburgh 17-17. First and 10 at the 10-yard line. So Lomax with a lot of burden now, having to go 90 yards. First down, has some time up the middle, and it is caught. Roy Green, I believe, with a superb catch. Roy Green has made some big plays today. He has terrific stamina. That's why he could play both defense and offense the past year.
Roy Green is going deep over the middle. Watch the hands, though. Number 81 puts those hands up. The ball's perfectly thrown. Everson Walls has got good defensive technique, but the ball's up high, and he puts those hands, grabs it, and big first down.
He had a muscle pull in the leg that slowed him up earlier this week, but he looks pretty good in this game. First and 10 at the 32. 22-yard pickup. In motion, Doug Marsh. O.J. Anderson at the line. And just gets to the 35. John Dutton, number 78, who spent his first 6 years with the Baltimore Colts and moved from defensive end to tackle 2 years ago and really solidified the Dallas front four. He has been hampered with a sore foot, but made the stop on Anderson after a 3-yard pickup. Second and 7 at the 35. Just the start of the fourth quarter. 21-7, the Cowboys lead. Dallas capitalizing on a Walls interception. Roy Green in motion, and now Lomax wants timeout.
He was looking at that 30-second clock, and it was down to 4 seconds, and he had motion called, so he couldn't get the play off.
So going to the sidelines is Neil Lomax, who has played all the way in this game. Jim Hart, the veteran, waiting in the wings, still waiting. The cheerleaders haven't given up here in St. Louis. Cardinals are trailing 21-7. They have a 2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line. Roy Green split wide to the right, Tilley to the left. Deerdorf back at center. Was out for a series. In motion, Roy Green. You see him pass. Lomax looking to throw. Out of the pocket. In trouble. And down. Harvey Martin. You just can't keep these guys away forever.
Now he couldn't find anything downfield, and they all chased him around. Dutton and Martin finally came from that offside. The receivers are pretty well covered that time.
4th sack of the game, and Martin has 2 of them.
3rd and 16, ball at 26.
Here's Tootie Sharp on the left side. He's blocking. He's doing a pretty good job. Martin spins, and it's really a late trap, but Tootie now is standing looking. Hey, where'd Lomax go? And Lewis sharp. And finally, Harvey comes all the way across the field. But initially, if the play would have been thrown on timing, it would have been good protection.
3rd and 16. Lomax up the middle. Pat Tilley trying to get away. And he stopped short of the sticks. Everson Walls makes the tackle. Walls makes the play on Tilley, who caught the lone touchdown pass of the game. Kansas City continues to lead San Diego 19-9 in the 4th quarter of their game. Some of you will see Washington, Tampa Bay, Detroit, LA Rams. Most of you will see San Francisco and Denver, including our New York audience.
Denver's got Craig Morton, my old compatriot, starting today. There's been a quarterback controversy between he and DeBerg. He'll start. San Francisco needs to get on track. They've had some injuries, and they need a big game to get back to that Super Bowl.
And here's a fake. And Roy Green is short of a first down. Roy Green took the snap, and Angelo King came up to make the play that did not work. And the Dallas Cowboys, Danny Spradlin, number 55, a hard hitter from Tennessee, alertly stopped Roy Green, and Roy Green is shaken up now, short of a first down by about 3 yards, and that could be a crippling play for St. Louis. Green is shaken up.
It's like their helmets hit. In fact, Spradlin was shaking up a little bit. And it's not a bad gamble right here. It's a short blocking right there. Really, Carl Allen tries to block. Just doesn't get his block, and Spradlin sticks his head in there, and they look like they hit helmets, and Roy Green is definitely shaken up. He might have been knocked out.
We're going to take a timeout right now, and it is quiet here at Busch Memorial Stadium because the Dallas Cowboys are at the St. Louis 40 when we come back. Roy Green, who is shaken up now on the sidelines, he has made some big plays today for the St. Louis Cardinals. 8 catches for 113 yards, so he has had an extraordinary day. 1st and 10 at the 40 for the Cowboys. This is the last thing the Cardinals needed, to have their defense under pressure once again. And Danny White, out of bounds, intended for Drew Pearson, and Jeff Griffin was defending on the play. And so the Cowboys trying to go add 7 more, which with 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go, if it's Dallas with a 3-touchdown lead, could be a monumental lead against this Cardinal team. But I think now, and all due credit to the St. Louis Cardinal defense, the Cowboys are kind of wearing them down.
Well, they have. St. Louis, though, has done an excellent job in defense. There was that turnover, the missed pass to Anderson, then the turnover. It was a big swing in this game and has made the difference so far.
Danny White, 234 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Calvin Favron, number 59, is in the game at linebacker. In motion, Doug Cosbie. Pitch to Dorsett. Dorsett runs over 2 Cardinals and gets to the 30. I believe he has a first down or close to it. Maybe short by a yard. Dorsett off the right side, and Carl Allen makes the tackle.
Well, this is the slashing running style that Dorsett is famous for. He's got the lead block by the fullback Springs. Gets a good block on Baker there, number 52, and then Carl Allen gets turned around. Dorsett keeps going, gets an extra few yards, but he's got that speed. Once he gets a block, especially from that I formation from the fullback, he can do some damage to the outside.
Hannafin said the big plays are not so much at the point of attack, but when he cuts back or veers in some direction. He has 71 yards. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Ron Springs stumbled as he got the ball from White. It's to the 29. Cowboys did have a first down and maybe a yard on the play. Rush Brown and Curtis Greer, the right side of the front 4 for the Cardinals, makes the stop. Clock running, 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Curtis Greer, who has been the best pass rusher the Cardinals have had, quick and strong in his 3rd year from Michigan. It is a young front 4. Grooms in his 7th year, Dawson the same. Rush Brown and Curtis Greer each in their 3rd seasons on the right side. A very young Cardinal team.
Linebackers, I think Baker's a 3-year veteran, and he's the oldest in the linebackers.
Right. 2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line. Dorsett off the right side has Kirk Peterson blocking for him, and Tony Dorsett gets inside the 20-yard line and inside the 15. A first down. Dave Aarons makes the stop, and Dorsett looking his finest of the day on that run.
Good blocking to the outside. Peterson's leading the block. Lee Nelson, number 38, will come to your picture. He's the force man. He's got to stop that outside run, and he just gets around number 38, Dorsett, and a good block by Peterson to the outside, and Dorsett's down the sideline.
Cowboys are driving. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Beautiful day, getting a bit cloudy for the St. Louis Cardinals, trailing 21-7 here. 9.5 minutes to play. 4th quarter. Dorsett close to the 10.
Dorsett the ball carrier. Tackled by Dawson.
Dawson makes the stop on Tony Dorsett. Don't forget the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. Interconference battle. The 49ers have had some juggling in their offensive line, and it hasn't been all that easy for Bill Walsh to be the wearer of the crown. Defending Super Bowl champions against the Denver Broncos, coached by Dan Reeves. You'll see that in the New York area. And Danny White wants a timeout. So Danny White perhaps feels that it's a good time to use the timeout because he wants to make no mistake at the 10 at the point. We'll be back. 8:45 showing on the clock. 2nd and 7 for the Dallas Cowboys. That's our score here. Cardinals are trying to stay in the game, and they need just about a Herculean defensive effort right now. The ball at the 10-yard line after Danny White called the timeout. Tony Dorsett has gained 90 yards and 19 carries after a very slow start in the first half where he gained just 34. In motion, Busch Johnson rolling out, penalty marker down, and Danny White drills it, and another flag is down. So we have 2 penalty markers thrown. One at the line of scrimmage, the other in the end zone, which may be a pass interference call.
That was definitely interference in the end zone on Busch Johnson. Looks like they'll be offsetting penalties. The other one was against Dallas out to this side of the field. And of course, Busch Johnson got hit before the ball got in the end zone. So that was interference down there. We got to figure out where that first one was against who.
Here's Jerry Markbright.
Pass interference, number 84, defense, offside. Correction. Pass interference, number 38, defense, offside, number 84, offense, penalties offset, 2nd down.
Cardinals came out of that one pretty well. Lee Nelson, pass interference. And for the Dallas Cowboys, Doug Cosbie, offside. Offsetting penalties. 8 minutes, 39 seconds to go, 4th quarter. 2nd and 7 at the 10-yard line. Cardinals trying to hold here. They've done a good job defensively today.
Excellent job.
2nd down, 7.
Dallas has had to fight for every inch today.
Tony Dorsett and Mike Dawson gets an arm around him. I think the Cowboys expected the game to be maybe a bit easier than it's been for them.
Well, I tell you, Dallas comes up to St. Louis, and they don't expect anything easy up here, St. Louis has looked very good in the preseason defensively. Last week they looked good defensively, so Tom Landry was concerned just being in St. Louis, but he respects, especially this Cardinal defense. Offensively, the Cardinals have got some weapons. It's just going to take some time for coordination.
Winding down, 8 minutes remaining. Don't forget San Francisco and Denver. Most of you will see the second half of our doubleheader. But here it's 21-7 in favor of the Cowboys. 3rd and 4 at the 7-yard line. Danny White looking to the end zone. Incomplete. The pass intended for Busch Johnson, and Lee Nelson defending on the play. It'll be 4th down. Let's take a look at some American League Baseball scores as we get close to the pennant races right now. The Milwaukee Brewers cling to the lead in the American League East, and Kansas City has a slim lead over California. The Kansas City Royals are in a slump. Minnesota leading them 3-0 in the 5th inning. California 2-1 over Toronto in the 7th inning. Could move even in that Western Division. Milwaukee leading New York 2-1 in the 4th inning. Brewers trying to stay ahead of the Orioles and Earl Weaver. Septien with Hogaboom holding a 25-yard field goal attempt. Rafeal has missed one from 44 yards. This one is perfect. Rafeal Septien, 25-yard field goal, and the Cowboys now lead at 24-7. Cowboys took the lead 7-0 on Danny White's 29-yard touchdown pass to Doug Cosbie. Cardinals tied it up, Lomax to Tilley. And after here in the fourth quarter, Cowboys have outscored the Cardinals 10-0. And a good return to the 28-yard line by Earl Farrell, the 5th-round draft choice from East Tennessee State. St. Louis Cardinals, who have been getting incredible pitching as of late, trying to sweep the New York Mets 5 games, leading 3-0 in the 7th inning. Montreal holding to a 5-4 lead over the Chicago Cubs, and Pittsburgh well ahead of Philadelphia. So if it's been a tough day for the football Cardinals, the baseball Cardinals have a lot to cheer about. 1st and 10 now at the 28-yard line. Lomax stays at quarterback. He is 17 for 28, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, which was a critical one. Marsh in motion. Lomax dumps it off to O.J. Anderson. Anderson stopped by Emerson Walls at the 30-yard line, and he's been all over the place. So Lomax has played all the way, and Jim Hart has had to watch this game. At what point would you bring in Jim Hart?
I don't think they'll bring Jim in a mop-up role. It's 24-7 right now, 7 minutes to go, and I think as a veteran quarterback, they'll probably use him in a game where there's a chance he might be able to pull it out if Lomax is having a tough day. But right now, it's difficult to pull it out for St. Louis. I don't think they'll just bring him in there as a mop-up quarterback.
That's what he has done. He is ranked 3rd all-time in passing yardage, attempts, and completions. Started in 1966. He's been around a long time, 38-year-old Jim Hart. 2nd and 7. Lomax going for Roy Green. First down, out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Dexter Clinkscale and makes the stop on Roy Green, who has his 9th reception of the game.
He's had a big day. He got stunned a little bit on the sideline again. I don't know if it was shoulder that was bothering him before, if he actually got knocked out or got his bell rung a little bit, but he gets around Walls right here. Perfectly thrown pass by Lomax. Walls looks back. He has help deep, but the ball's thrown in that seam before Clinkscale gets over there, and it's the 9th reception by Roy Green.
That one was 22 yards. 6:44 remaining in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 Cardinals at the Dallas 47. Roy, 9 catches, 135 yards today. And he got his start on offense against Dallas last year with a 60-yarder. Lomax, Too Tall Jones coming in, and Lomax is going for Pat Tilley. Tilley is it out of bounds with a tremendous play. Double teamed. He turned around, but he was out of bounds as Walls and Downs were both covering Pat.
But Pat Tilley, anytime there's a ball around Pat Tilley, Dick, you can expect anything. And this ball was not thrown very well, but Lomax was harassed and faked the post, went back to the outside. He has Walls beat by maybe a step right here. It had to have been a long throw, but a ball was thrown to his outside. Watch him spin around, almost catch the ball right here. Gee, great effort.
He had that left knee on the line. Too Tall Jones has really put a lot of pressure in the second half.
And he's a little off balance when he threw that, and that caused the pass to be thrown wide to the right, but Tilley almost made a spectacular catch.
2nd and 10 at the 47. Draw play to O.J. Anderson being pursued, and Clinkscale comes in there and leads a hard Dallas charge. Dexter Clinkscale, who has been playing and passing downs. 2nd year, was a free agent rookie out of South Carolina State. He missed all of last year with a torn Achilles tendon, and the question is whether he'd hold up, but he looks like a very strong player. And Deerdorf is shaken up for the Cardinals.
This is the toughest time to go against that Dallas pass rush. They play that flex defense. They have responsibilities, but when a team gets into this situation where they're behind and you know they're going to have to pass, these guys are great athletes. They really tee off, and it's tough to do very much when you have to throw the football.
Kenny Stabler, the quarterback, and New Orleans with a fine defensive effort leading Chicago. Philadelphia has moved ahead of the Cleveland Browns in the fourth quarter after the Browns had the early lead. The Raiders 31-14 as Atlanta has scored a touchdown to come back somewhat. They're in the third quarter. And the Jets over the New England Patriots 24-7 in the fourth quarter. San Diego trailing early, now a touchdown down to Kansas City in the fourth quarter of their game at Arrowhead Arrowhead Stadium in Cincinnati and Pittsburgh in the fourth period, tied 20-all. Don't forget, it'll be the defending Super Bowl champions, the 49ers, against the Denver Broncos of Dan Reeves. Mile High Stadium has been a snake pit for visiting clubs. The 49ers don't want to be 0-2. Coming up next with Pat Summerall and John Madden, particularly in the New York area. Some of you will see the other games, Detroit at LA or Washington at Tampa Bay.
Well, there's a great player right there. Number 72. He's had trouble with his knee. They switched him to center. Think he can play center longer.
3rd and 10 at the 47. Lomax coming back to make the play. If it's complete, he has the first down, and it's ruled incomplete. Intended for Mel Gray, who earlier in the game extended his pass-catching streak. Dan Deerdorf has a sense of humor. You know, Stump Mitchell's name is Livonia. E.J. Jr.'s name is Esther. And, of course, you talked about Tootie and Louis, the offensive rookie. Says, with names like Livonia, Esther, Louis, and Tootie, says, we better be a tough team. He does have a sense of humor, does Dan Deerdorf.
He just slapped his right knee. Looks like he might have got hit from that right side and maybe strained a ligament on that right side.
5:56 remaining in the fourth period, and Carl Birdsong's kick sails over the head of Fellows and is in the end zone. And what may be a factor in the Cardinals offense today is the fact that O.J. Anderson has gained only 21 yards on 16 carries.
First down.
Here in St. Louis, the Cardinals trail the Cowboys 24-7. Dallas ball 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Drew Pearson comes out to the left.